wonderful, first of all. I love that you're saying meet people where they are. And so, can you expand on that a little bit more? Because I'm hearing that, but I know for people who might be a little bit nervous, they have no dance experience, or they have maybe some challenges that might hinder them from dancing. Can you expand on that just a bit more?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is part of the Orpheum and the Halloran Center's commitment to ensuring that everybody has access to quality arts education, no matter what, right? We always say there's almost no need that can't be met, and we've had a lot of success with doing these free community dance workshops in the past. When Alvin Ailey was here, when the Syncopated Ladies were here, when Dance Theater of Harlem was here, and so for anybody that might be feeling nervous, like you said, it is truly all ages and abilities. We have young people as young as 3, or even, parents with babies in their arms dancing, all the way up to aunties, uncles, grannies, grandpas, and the like. And so age is not a barrier, and it's really, really a foundational community class, right? We specifically call it a community class because that is what it's about. It's not about necessarily perfecting your technique or becoming a flamenco or a dance star overnight. It's about coming together in community to explore and be curious about this new art form that maybe some people know a lot about and that maybe some people have never heard of, but it's a very passionate art form. As you can see in the footage, it fuses music and dance. It's traditions that come from southern Spain, but it's really a cultural hodgepodge. It was, flamenco was developed out of a sort of blending and mixing of cultures, not unlike what we have right here in Memphis that creates our art. So it's a really accessible point. Like I said, if you're a seasoned pro or if you've never done this before, the emphasis is on community, on curiosity, on coming together. And that's also why we offer it completely free. We want people to have access to it. We don't want there to be any barriers. And then, of course, the hope is that you would have such a good time at the free workshop on Wednesday that you would come back on Thursday and see this incredible performance. It's one night only, but when I tell you they are going to tear it up in the Halloran Center, I mean, it is just such a passionate, vibrant, beautiful art form that is really going to feel like you're transported to southern Spain.
Jennifer, I feel the passion and I'm so excited for it. This sounds like an amazing time. Can you kind of tell us how this all came together and just what made you guys want to do something like this?
Sure, sure. So about a year ago now, we sort of reevaluated the programming that was happening in the Halloran Center, and we rebranded to be called Halloran Center Presents. And so we were continuing to bring the best in Memphis music and to lift up local artists, but we also wanted to expand the offerings on the season. So now instead of only doing music, we're also doing magic, and we're doing theater and dance and comedy and immersive arts, all sorts of things, right? This Tablao Flamenco is part of our commitment, which we're trying to do now, which is to bring the best in international art offerings from all over the world right here to Memphis, while also lifting up our incredible local community and local artists. So this is really the best of both worlds because, like I said, local folks right here in Memphis are going to have the chance to engage with these incredible artists from Spain and from all over the world. And so it's really a beautiful cross-cultural exchange. And that's what we're trying to do on our stage. We're trying to create access to all different forms of art and also show off a little bit of Memphis and what we've got going on here.
I love it. Is there anything else the folks need to know about registering, making sure that they can get to this event? What do they need to know?
Beautiful. So orpheum-memphis.com, you can get all of the information on the Tablao Flamenco page. You're absolutely right that the workshop on Wednesday is free and accessible to all, but we do strongly suggest advanced registration because the capacity is limited. It's a large capacity, but if you definitely want to secure your spot, we do encourage you to pre-register. It's just a quick, simple form online so that we have a count of how many people are coming. And then, of course, the tickets for the show on Friday are still available online. Again, the performance is at 7:30 in the Halloran Center on Thursday, and you can purchase those tickets online or, of course, at the door as well.
All right. Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for your time. Jennifer McGrath with the Orpheum and Halloran Center. We appreciate you so much for being here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Great to have you. Great info. I'm excited. I know it's going to be an amazing event that I know so many are looking forward to. Thanks again. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm Sydney Gray in this morning. and we are so glad you're here with us. We're going to talk about a few different things going on today. So Lowe's is working to improve Catholic Charities with its volunteerism, and I've got a very special guest joining me today to talk more about that. And so let's get right on over to our very special guest this morning, George Nixon. George, thank you so much for being with us. How you doing today?
I'm fantastic, Sydney. Great to be with you.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's talk about it. Tell me what you guys have going on with Catholic Charities.
So, with the Lowe's coming tomorrow, it's really just been overwhelming. They not only have they given us a tremendous grant to beautify our campus, but they've gone over and above. Tomorrow, they're bringing over 100+ volunteers to work on any number of projects. So much, and we're just overwhelmed by the amount of people that are going to be here, and really the spirit with which they're coming. For us, it really feels like a shot in the arm. You know, we spend so much time focusing on this community and serving others. It feels like somebody has recognized us and is coming down to really support us in the work that we're doing. The work that they do not only will beautify our campus and raising that sense of dignity for the people we serve, but also it's a really recognition of the hard work that all of our employees are doing every day and really putting value in that work. And we couldn't be more proud of this partnership we have with them.
If you could talk about how the partnership is going to help you guys do more work to help the community, can you kind of expand on that?
Yeah, I think, when I think about what they're doing, it's really a beautification project in a lot of ways. The funds that they've given us not only have supported some of the basic infrastructure that we have, or some of the basic repair needs that we have, but has really elevated the beauty of the campus. And when I think about the work that we're doing, we're really helping people who are having a hard time. And when they're welcomed into a place that's beautiful, the place that's dignified, right? It elevates that sense of self-worth. So it's really a mission-driven effort that we're getting from Lowe's. Again, it aligns exactly with what we're about every day.
What do you want people to know, I guess, so much about Catholic Charities and the work that Catholic Charities does every day?
Yeah, big things. If you were going to put it real simple in an elevator pitch, so to speak, what we do is we feed, we clothe, and we house people. Who we're here for is Memphis, right? Memphis has a number of needs, but it's also a tremendous community with tremendous goodwill. And a lot of what we do is we organize that goodwill for the support of our neighbors, helping them go from poverty to self-sufficiency.
You're talking about the beautification that's going to happen and all these volunteers that are going to be coming tomorrow. Can you kind of share why what it looks like makes such a difference in the work that y'all do?
Yeah, so if you can imagine, this is a place where we want it to be a place of welcome. A lot of those folks that we're serving are literally homeless, and as they're kind of walking throughout the city, many times they're kind of moved along, right? You can't stay here, you're not welcome here. What we want to make and have made here is a place of welcome, a place of respite, a place where trust and rapport, friendships can be built, really a place of support. So as Lowe's descends really on this campus with this army of volunteers, they're really helping us elevate that even further. So this becomes even more beautiful of a space, somewhere that you even more want to spend time, and have that sense of I'm welcome, I'm dignified, I have a home here.
George, if you could kind of share what other Memphians can do to maybe not so much get involved tomorrow, but get involved past tomorrow, past this weekend, what can they do to kind of help your organization?
So there's so many ways to be involved. I mean, certainly donations are huge, right? Sometimes I think people think donations are, oh, I'm just kind of almost like I'm like a cop out, like I'm just giving. But you got to think about donations are really a representative of your energy that you put out into the world to go and earn that money. And when you take some of that and you donate that to a good cause, you're really donating your life, your energy to that. It's almost as if you're working in that field alongside of us. So that's obviously a big one. And the second one is your time, right? Come down and be with us. Even if it's just to take a tour. One of the things that we focus a lot on is just bringing down people and showing them what we're doing. Because when we're walking through the campus and you're seeing the ministries that we're involved in, inevitably there's ideas that pop in your head of how you can get involved or people that you could introduce us to that could be involved, how you could bring a group down. Those tours are amazing moments of brainstorming. So come down and visit us, or reach out to us and volunteer. You can volunteer on our front porch where we're serving over 200 people a day. We're looking for food and looking for friendship, or you can volunteer in our mobile pantry where we're serving over 22,000 families a month. There's any number of ways to get involved, but what I can guarantee you is whatever way you choose, you're going to get more out of it than you put in.
George, thank you so much. An amazing day ahead and a great partnership, obviously, between the Catholic Charities and Lowe's. Really excited for you guys. Anything else you want to add or say?
I'm just grateful for this opportunity. I'm not from Memphis originally. I've actually been here a little less than a year. And what they say about Tennessee being the volunteer state has rung true. And Memphis in particular, the amount of goodwill that I see here really inspires me. I know Memphis has its problems, but I know that this community believes in this city, and I know that we have a path forward. So I'm just grateful to be a part of it.
We love to hear it. George, thank you so much for your time. Have a great one.
You too. God bless.
Thanks for joining us here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Here on a Friday, another code orange air quality alert across the metro area as we continue with this stagnant air mass. So those with breathing sensitivities, difficulties, issues should probably be inside yet again here across the area, or at least refrain from being outside for prolonged periods of time, and also doing strenuous activity. You go outside for just a couple of minutes in this type of air mass. Sometimes, it's just hard to breathe at times, especially if you do have those breathing issues. To the low 90s we go here today, still well above average across the Mid-South, and some better chances for rain and storms as we go through the course of the day as a frontal boundary gets a little bit more active. And that could have some implications for a Friday football fever game of the week. Briarcrest taking on St. Benedict here tonight. Temperatures in the 80s for the 3-1 matchup tonight. Somebody's going 4-1 and somebody's going 3-2 tonight. We'll ease our way back down into the mid-70s by the end of the night with a chance for a couple of showers and storms. Now understand, it's not going to be a washout, but I think that there's at least a chance that either there could be some active rainfall or there could be even some field issues from previous rainfall, as we will have at least an opportunity for rain. It's not a certainty, though, as we go through the course of the day. Take a look at it with our first alert futurecast. We run this through here. Notice as we get towards 3-4 o'clock this afternoon, spotty downpours across the area. About a 30 to 40% opportunity for seeing some afternoon downpours. Some of these could be heavy, locally strong. Can't rule it out with some gusty winds and small hail potential. They will tend to fade away pretty quickly after sunset. So by the time you're watching the Friday Football Fever games of the week here on Action News 5 tonight at 10 o'clock, most of the rain's done at that point. We'll ease our way back down into the upper 60s and low 70s here to start off the start of your Saturday. By the afternoon hours, more spotty downpours possibly on the way as we head through the course of the day. It won't be for everybody, but again, some spots may have to tangle with a shower or thunderstorm. Your Memphis Tigers taking on the Arkansas Razorbacks. 11 a.m. kickoff at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. Tailgating opens at 6 a.m. over at Tiger Lane. I think we're going to be in decent shape. We'll start off with kickoff with sunshine, but by the end of the game, there could be a few isolated showers and storms as we make a run towards the low 90s. Elsewhere across the region, the Ole Miss Rebels in the Tulane Green Wave in Oxford. There may be an isolated shower or storm there in Lafayette County. That kickoff 2:30 in the morning. Starkville, 5 o'clock kickoff for the Mississippi State Bulldogs going up against the Huskies of Northern Illinois. You got Kennesaw State and Arkansas State in the northern suburb of Kennesaw, Georgia, of the Atlanta metro area. Nashville, Vandy's at home, 93 there, and 88 degrees at Knoxville, Tennessee for the Tennessee Vols. Want to take a look at the drought monitor. Extreme drought and now in effect for northern portions of Arkansas, southern Missouri, northwest Tennessee. The expansion of the severe drought has also occurred. So we've got issues that are going to continue over the next couple of weeks, unfortunately, but there are some changes and hopefully for the better as we head through the latter portion of this 7-day to 10-day forecast. Unsettled period of time coming into play here as an area of low pressure comes out of Canada. It cuts itself off from the main flow pattern. That will bring us better chances for showers and storms as we head towards next week. Hopefully for us, we'll have some opportunity for decent rainfall and appreciable rainfall over that course of time. It won't be a constant rain, though, here across the Mid-South, but something that we'll be keeping a close eye on. Here's a look at your 10-day forecast. A high of 91 here today. Feels like temperatures still pretty stifling here if you don't catch a downpour, but there will be at least some opportunities for some rain and storms here. 93 on Saturday, 91 on Sunday. Another system comes down out of the pipeline. That's going to bring us more clouds, chances for rain, and cooler temperatures in the 80s as we head throughout much of next week. Below average at some points in time or closer to average for the early portions of fall, which officially begins on Monday afternoon.
Back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm Sydney Gray. This morning we're talking about something really important to a lot of women, especially pregnant women. We're talking folic acid. It is something that a lot of doctors want people to know about and something that they want women especially to start taking. So joining me this morning on the Digital Desk, we've got OBGYN Dr. Patrick Cleeton joining me this morning. Dr. Cleeton, thank you so much for being on the Digital Desk. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's talk about this. For those who don't know what folic acid is, can you kind of talk about it and why it's so important?
Yeah, so folic acid or folate is basically vitamin B9. It's found in a lot of leafy greens, liver, eggs, peas. So it's found in a lot of naturally occurring foods in our diet. And then we've also started supplementing cereal grains like actual cereal and then bread, flour as well. So it's actually supplemented into a lot of foods to just help people get it through their diet because it's so important during early pregnancy.
And so I know doctors sometimes will have women take this as a supplement. What is why the supplements? Why is that necessary sometimes?
So the reason for the increased recommendation for increased amounts of folic acid in early pregnancy is to help prevent what are called neural tube defects. And the neural tube is what develops into the brain, spinal cord, and nervous system. And if there's not enough folic acid around, which is helpful for DNA synthesis, there's different issues that can occur. And so that's why supplementing helps prevent these issues. And supplementing with up to 400 micrograms of folic acid, which is what's found in a prenatal vitamin, can help reduce these neural tube defects by over 90% compared to no supplementation.
Gotcha. Good info to know. Can this help women who are not expecting at all?
So the recommendation is that all women of childbearing age take it because about 50% of pregnancies are unplanned. So the benefit of it is that you have that extra supplementation around before you actually become pregnant. And then if you weren't even planning to become pregnant, you still have the benefit of the extra folic acid.
And is it as simple as just getting an over-the-counter supplement, or do they need to be talking to their doctors before starting to take this type of supplement?
So it comes as a standard component of prenatal vitamins. It comes as a separate standalone vitamin. And as I mentioned earlier, it can be something that you get through diet alone, but it is definitely something that is recommended. And especially if you're in a high-risk group of patients, it would be recommended to even maybe go above that previously mentioned 400 microgram limit.
And you mentioned high-risk group, so I've got to ask, what women would be in that high-risk group? Who are we talking about here?
So anyone that's had a previous neural tube defect in a pregnancy, patients with malabsorption, and some of those patients can be with a chronic irritable bowel disease, or patients who have had certain weight loss surgeries that may divert some of the bowel. They can sometimes have reduced absorption. People with diabetes can also sometimes have reduced absorption. So those would be groups that I would recommend talk to their doctor and maybe increase from that standard 400 microgram level up to 800 micrograms, or even in certain patients, 4 milligrams would be the extreme.
All right. Well, Dr. Cleeton, thank you so much for this information. We appreciate your time, of course, joining us here on the Digital Desk. Really great info, especially as we look at Folic Acid Awareness Week. Anything else you want the folks who are watching this morning to know?
There's a website that's called the National Birth Defects Prevention Network that is full of great information that would have more information beyond what we were able to discuss here today.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Patrick Cleeton with St. Francis Medical Partners. We do appreciate you.
If you join us for Action News 5 midday every now and then, you are very well acquainted with the next guest. We have Miss Ellen Zahariadis from the Memphis Humane Society, and she has some exciting things to chat with us about. Hi there, Ellen.
Hi, how are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. So, of course, I feel like you guys always have something exciting going on with the Memphis Humane Society. And today we're talking about Paw Prints, which is such a big event. Tell us a little bit about it.
Absolutely. Paw Prints is our largest annual fundraiser. It's a really delightful event. We hold it here at the shelter. We have a extremely large tent put on our grounds outside. And if you've ever been to the Humane Society, you know how beautiful our campus is. And we are really, it's a time where everyone comes together and we celebrate the great work that everyone has done to try to save animals in Memphis and Shelby County throughout the year, and we get to really embrace that and celebrate the animals that we've been able to save, and bring animal lovers together for a night that not only celebrates animals, but it also raises much needed money to be able to care for them and to continue the services that we have throughout Memphis and Shelby County.
Absolutely. And talk a little bit about the need for one, of course, this sort of fundraiser and the funds in order to do the services that you guys do every single day. What's that need like here in Memphis and Shelby County?
The need is huge. We unfortunately have to turn animals away almost every day just because we are constantly at capacity at our shelter. We need the funds to be able to work with the animals to get them ready for adoption, to get them adopted so we can take more animals in. And we have a lot of different programs to help us expand our capacity, like our foster program. We have a wonderful foster manager, Tarika Bolden, who has created a lot of new programs that have created foster homes so that we can expand our capacity outside the shelter. But we have to have funds to be able to do that. We have to have funds to be able to take in those injured, those sick animals and be able to care for them here in our own vet clinic with our veterinarian. We need funds to be able to work with animals that have been neglected or abused and help them regain trust with humans again. And we get to see that every day here, but it takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of people, it takes a lot of community support.
Awesome. And talk a little bit about the experience, because I've not been, I hope to go, but I hear it's fabulous. So what can people expect inside? We're looking at some images there of previous years. And I'm just curious, what's the experience like?
Oh, it's wonderful. You come in and the whole campus is lit up. It's beautiful here. It's in the evening. You come into this great tent. And with this event this year, our event this year is sponsored by Bright Investments. And so we are so excited to have them join us to have this be a super exciting event. We have a live auction. We have a silent auction. We have a wonderful, we have signature cocktails for everyone. We have delicious food from Donaldson Catering that truly, when we went for a tasting, was almost a spiritual experience. So I would encourage everybody to come and enjoy that. And we get to see, a wonderful video, a compilation of all the animals that we've helped and the work that we've done over the year. People who attend get to have, behind the scenes tours of the Humane Society, places that people don't normally get to go to. But we are so proud of our shelter, and we're so proud of our operations and the way that we approach animal welfare, that we want to show everybody everything that we've got. So it's really a wonderful time to people to get to see the behind the scenes thing. They get to see our training boards. They get to see how our dog trainer is working with each of the animals to teach them different techniques to work on them with any maybe problems that they may have regarding like separation anxiety or something like that. You get to see all of that and all of the work that goes into preparing our animals for adoption to be out in loving homes forever.
That sounds amazing, Ellen. All right, so if anyone is watching this and they're wondering, I want to go, I'm sold, what do I need to do? How do I get tickets? What do people need to know?
Absolutely. They need to know that, one, it's September 27th, so not this weekend, but the next. And you can go to our website. Now, we are, at the moment, I believe, sold out, but sometimes tickets become available. So I would encourage everyone to go to our website, which is memphisHumane.org, and just periodically come back and check to see if we have any tickets available. You can also participate by making a donation to the Humane Society. You can join us afterward, and you can get to see the video that we've created for the event. And honestly, if you ever want to come by and get a behind-the-scenes tour of the shelter, just come by, give us a call, and we're happy to do that for you. But I would say for people to check back in on the website and to please go ahead and make a donation. You can be there with us in spirit. You can support the animals. You can support the Humane Society and the vital work we're doing in our community through our vet clinic, through our pet food pantry, and through all the other programs and services that we offer.
All right, Ellen, thank you so much. So again, Paw Prints on September 27th. I know it's going to be a great event. And of course, we appreciate you and all the work that you're doing. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Here on a Friday, another code orange air quality alert across the metro area as we continue with this stagnant air mass. So those with breathing sensitivities, difficulties, issues should probably be inside yet again here across the area, or at least refrain from being outside for prolonged periods of time, and also doing strenuous activity. You go outside for just a couple of minutes in this type of air mass. Sometimes, it's just hard to breathe at times, especially if you do have those breathing issues. To the low 90s we go here today, still well above average across the Mid-South, and some better chances for rain and storms as we go through the course of the day as the frontal boundary gets a little bit more active. And that could have some implications for a Friday football fever game of the week. Briarcrest taking on St. Benedict here tonight. Temperatures in the 80s for the 3-1 matchup tonight. Somebody's going 4-1 and somebody's going 3-2 tonight. We'll ease our way back down into the mid-70s by the end of the night with a chance for a couple of showers and storms. Now, understand it's not going to be a washout, but I think that there's at least a chance that either there could be some active rainfall or there could be even some field issues from previous rainfall, as we will have at least an opportunity for rain. It's not a certainty, though, as we go through the course of the day. Take a look at it with our First Alert Futurecast. We run this through here Notice as we get towards 3-4 o'clock this afternoon, spotty downpours across the area. About a 30 to 40% opportunity for seeing some afternoon downpours. Some of these could be heavy, locally strong. Can't rule it out with some gusty winds and small hail potential. They will tend to fade away pretty quickly after sunset. So by the time you're watching the Friday Football Fever games of the week here on Action News 5 tonight at 10 o'clock, most of the rain's done at that point. We'll ease our way back down into the upper 60s and low 70s here to start off the start of your Saturday. By the afternoon hours, more spotty downpours possibly on the way as we head through the course of the day. It won't be for everybody, but again, some spots may have to tangle with a shower or thunderstorm. Your Memphis Tigers taking on the Arkansas Razorbacks. 11 a.m. kickoff at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. Tailgating opens at 6 a.m. over at Tiger Lane. I think we're going to be in decent shape. We'll start off with kickoff with sunshine, but by the end of the game, there could be a few isolated showers and storms as we make a run towards the low 90s. Elsewhere across the region, the Ole Miss Rebels in the Tulane Green Wave in Oxford. There may be an isolated shower or storm there in Lafayette County. That kickoff 2:30 in the morning. Starkville, 5 o'clock kickoff for the Mississippi State Bulldogs going up against the Huskies of Northern Illinois. You got Kennesaw State and Arkansas State in the northern suburb of Kennesaw, Georgia, of the Atlanta metro area. Nashville, Vandy's at home, 93 there and 88 degrees at Knoxville, Tennessee for the Tennessee Vols. Want to take a look at the drought monitor. Extreme drought and now in effect for northern portions of Arkansas, southern Missouri, northwest Tennessee. The expansion of the severe drought has also occurred. So we've got issues that are going to continue over the next couple of weeks, unfortunately, but there are some changes and hopefully for the better as we head through the latter portion of this 7-day to 10-day forecast. Unsettled period of time coming into play here as an area of low pressure comes out of Canada. It cuts itself off from the main flow pattern. That will bring us better chances for showers and storms as we head towards next week. Hopefully for us, we'll have some opportunity for decent rainfall and appreciable rainfall over that course of time. It won't be a constant rain, though, here across the Mid-South, but something that we'll be keeping a close eye on. Here's a look at your 10-day forecast. A high of 91 here today. Feels like temperatures still pretty stifling here if you don't catch a downpour, but there will be at least some opportunities for some rain and storms here. 93 on Saturday, 91 on Sunday. Another system comes down out of the pipeline. That's going to bring us more clouds, chances for rain, and cooler temperatures in the 80s as we head throughout much of next week. Below average at some points in time or closer to average for the early portions of fall, which officially begins on Monday afternoon. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm First Alert meteorologist Patrick Ellis. Going to give you some news headlines here this morning, get you going here on a lovely Friday morning. Let's get you out the door, and of course, starting off with a couple of things here. Of course, we've got so much going on here on this Friday morning. All right, let's start off with this. Some of the things that are happening right now that happened late last night. This is down off of Kirby Parkway. Shooting investigation in Hickory Hill. We learned a 14-year-old child was shot in the abdomen. No details on the suspect at this time, but it does look like it's happened outside of the convenience store you see there at the Exxon station at Kirby Parkway and Rains. We've reached out to MPD to find out more of what has happened here. We'll get back to the latest and, of course, also let you know on the Action News 5 app here as we head through the latter half of the morning. Efforts continue to block the National Guard from coming to Memphis. Next week, Memphis City Council members will vote on a resolution asking Governor Bill Lee to reject President Donald Trump's current plan. In this resolution, there are several points outlined, including how the Memphis Police Department recently reported overall crime in the city, and that has reached a 25-year low. It also says support from the National Guard troops is unwarranted, and our public safety needs would be best met by further investment into existing localized strategies. The family of a black student found hanging from a tree at Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi earlier this week still wants answers regarding his death. Investigators with the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office are ruling his death a suicide. Students, faculty, and staff say they will continue to lend their support to one another during this difficult time, one prayer at a time. During a vigil for Reed on campus last night, students say they were taking the developments hard. Reed's family previously said they plan to request an independent autopsy. The investigation is now being turned over to the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office for further review. Well, how do you stay safe? Well, this is something that has come up a lot, of course, with the new state law for conversation about gun safety here in schools. The Memphis Shelby County school leaders will host an in-person safety course today to help students and parents understand more about the firearm safety. The course covers how to stay safe in both at home and at school to make smart choices if you find a firearm. That in-person meeting is set for 9 o'clock this morning at Dexter Middle School. As the National Guard prepares to come to Memphis, we're hearing from families impacted by violent crime. At a town hall hosted by mothers who've lost children to gun violence, some say they're hopeful for the Guard's arrival will finally bring safety and change to the city. Memphis police declined to interview with Action News 5 at the town hall meeting. Well, some new developments coming to the city of Memphis. Pro soccer coming back to the city after 901 FC left last year. This is the new Memphis Football Club that will be joining USL League 2 in 2026. The franchise is co-owned by former pro player Kerry Talley and his brother Clark. The team will play at the Mike Rose Soccer Complex, once home to the Memphis Tigers. This comes months after 901 FC announced they were leaving for California, citing a lack of a soccer-specific stadium. President Kerry Talley says Memphis FC will create real opportunities for local players and honor the city's soccer legacy while giving the next generation a pathway to the pros. You can read the statement in its entirety over on actionnews5.com. Also going on this weekend, looking ahead to a fun and busy one here across the region, starting with the Mid-South Balloon Festival. It's happening in Rossville in Fayette County off of Highway 57 and Fraser Road. It will be more than 20 hot air balloons that you'll be able to ride, head up into the sky, and hopefully the weather will hold out for it. You'll have tomorrow and Sunday to get in one. There's also a kids zone along with other things going on to keep those who want to stay on the ground. So lots of going on there in Fayette County. And also going on, the Grizzlies taking over the Redbirds tomorrow. It's the Grizzlies Day at the Memphis Redbirds. The Redbirds will be sporting Grizzlies-themed jerseys on the field as they take on the St. Paul Saints. Replica Grizzlies jerseys will be given to the first 5,000 fans through the gate as they come back and open up at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. Lots of also going on tomorrow. We've got the Memphis Tigers going up against the Arkansas Razorbacks. That's 11 o'clock kickoff over at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. The Ole Miss Rebels and the Tulane Green Wave also taking on each other. Vaught Hemingway Stadium down in Oxford, Mississippi. 2:30 kickoff for that one. And the Broomcorn Festival over in Selmer, Tennessee. That will be tomorrow from 9 to 5. Of course, we've got a whole bunch of events going on. You can find out all the details anytime and everywhere on the Action News 5 digital desk. We'll have updates coming up here, and we'll take a look at what's going on with another interview coming up here in just a moment. Here, time right now for 7:43 on this Friday morning.
All right, guys, go ahead and mark your calendar. We are looking ahead today to September 25th. That is Sunset at Bridges, a really great family-friendly event bringing out some local artists. Of course, we're talking Hope Claiborne and the Soul Scrimmage Band. They will be there as well, the whole nine. We are bringing in one of our good friends, the CEO of Bridges, Sam O'Brien, to tell us all about this special event. Good morning to you, Sam.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
No, we're so glad to have you on the Action News 5 digital desk. So go ahead and break it down for us. Sunset at Bridges. Tell us more about this event.
Think about it as a big community block party, right? So September 25th, we're inviting everyone to come to Bridges, come hang out in our amphitheater. We're located in the downtown, uptown area of Memphis, right across the street from St. Jude. We want people to come out to this free event, enjoy entertainment. Like you said, we're going to have Hope Claiborne's Soul Scrimmage. We'll be doing a live performance. You know, they're fresh off of 901 Day, where I think they were very well received. We're also going to have DJ Mary the K. She's going to be on the ones and twos, spinning some tunes for us while we're out there as well. But what we're looking at is a way to bring everyone out to come see the majesty of Bridges, learn more about the organization, learn more about the programs that we offer, and again, just participate in what could just easily be a lovely afternoon.
When you say a community block party, the entire Memphis, that's our lingo there. So many people are looking forward to that. A big thing that you mentioned was one of the reasons for this event is to bring awareness and for people to know about the work that you guys do at Bridges. Can you kind of talk us through some of the programs that you guys have and your overall mission?
Sure. So the mission of Bridges is to unite and inspire diverse young people. We want them to become confident and courageous leaders that are committed to community change and transformation. What Bridges does, we have three pillar programs. The first is Bridge Builders, which is our summer conference. A lot of people are familiar with that because during the summer we invite over 800 young people to our facility and to the University of Memphis to learn more about themselves, learn more about Memphis and how those two things come together for community change. We also have our youth advisory councils, which is comprised of different leadership groups that talk about youth policy, public policy, and ways to communicate change through governmental channels. And last but not least, we have Team Bridges, which is our adult learning component, where this is when you bring your group out, your office or your immediate team, and you engage in these team building activities. And so you come in as co-workers, but you leave as a team because, again, we go through this process where we learn more about each other, learn more about our limits, and learn about how we bring those things together for, again, just better outcomes as a team.
And when you talk about better outcomes, Sam, why don't you talk about, just the impact that you've seen firsthand that Bridges has had on, some of the students who have been through the program or even some of the adults?
I think one of the better ways to explain it is anytime I run into a bridge builder, I'm wearing the Bridges shirt today. So if I'm wearing this shirt out in public, I come across someone who's an alum of the program. I ask them how they're doing, and they tell me they are usually connected to purpose-driven work. And so this means they're likely working for a nonprofit. They're likely working for a government agency or a local government, or they may be working within corporate social responsibility. And they always come back and they say that what I found at Bridges, that foundational learning at Bridges, it inspires the work that I do now. So when I think about the work that we do, when I think about the messages that we impart, it often leads toward young people walking into a purpose-driven career. Again, nonprofit spaces, local spaces, corporate social responsibility, that's likely where you're going to find a lot of our alums.
I know that puts a smile on your face when you can hear from alums and they tell you the influence Bridges has had on their life. That's beautiful to hear. All right, so let's get people to Sunset at Bridges. We know that this is a free event. This is happening Thursday, right? September 25th. What are the other logistics people need to know?
So we're blessed. So we have free parking. So we have a lot that is across the street from our facility, and we have a parking deck. I want to say altogether that's about 140 parking spots. But again, you'll have people that'll be parking on the street. So there's 4th Street and 5th Street, which where our building is located. They'll be parking up and down those 2 streets. Like you said, logistically, September 25th, we're kicking everything off at 5:30. Again, the event is free. But we're also going to have food trucks, if you wish to, purchase from any one of those. And for our alums that are going to be present, we're going to have Bridges merchandise. So if you want to come away with a Bridges hat or a Bridges shirt, please come see us about that. And one thing I do want to add, our rock climbing wall will be open. So if you want to get in there, get tied in and with a carabiner and a couple of ropes and loops, please, we'll be there. We'll have staff on site to help you all the way up and help you all the way down.
Sam, it sounds like we have it all at the block party. We have the live music, we have the food trucks, and if you want to get active and do some rock climbing, you can do that as well. Something
there you
for
go.
The entire family. All right, Sunset at Bridges, that's Thursday, September 25th. A free event, so go ahead and mark your calendar to participate in that. Again, Sam Bryant, the CEO of Bridges, thank you so much for stopping by the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. This interview that's coming up is for all of our professionals, those in the business world. I'm speaking to CEOs, business leaders, managers. You're going to really enjoy this interview here. We are speaking with Michelle Earhart. She wrote a book, and this book will equip you with the tools, the mindset, anything to lead you and your crew through a crisis. So go ahead and take out your notepad now, because it's going to be a great discussion. I'm going to go ahead and bring her in. Good morning to you, Michelle. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks so much for joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We want to get right into it. Crisis Compass, how to communicate when it matters most. If you were to describe your book in a nutshell, how would you describe it?
I think the easiest way to explain it is it's the book I wish I had when I started working in crisis communication so many years ago. It's almost a playbook for here is what you do first, second, third, fourth, fifth. And it also talks a lot about being prepared in advance. And I give a lot of examples. I give a lot of particular tabletop drills you can do. There's just a lot of information in it. Again, it's what I've learned over 30 years in the business, but also what I wish I'd had when I started.
And speaking of, just your resume, you say you've been in the business, you've worked at FedEx, you now serve as Chief Marketing and Communications Officer at the University of Memphis. So elaborate about, just how that experience has kind of helped you or shaped you when it comes to leading a team, your leadership style and things of that sort.
Yeah, I think in any crisis situation, it's a daunting task. It wouldn't be called a crisis if it weren't. To me, it has helped grow my leadership skills and understanding that preparedness is really the key. You plan the work and you work the plan, and it allows you to be the leader in the situation. If you go into anything unprepared, you don't feel as though you're at your best. So it's given me a lot of leadership insights through the years, and understanding that if you do the homework, it makes the test a little bit easier. And also leading with empathy. It's a tough day when you have a crisis. the people that are working on that crisis, and you do news.
Yeah.
Those days are really difficult. You got to get through them. It's your job. And at the end of the day, that's when you can take a breath and think about what you just went through.
Michelle, we've only been talking for about 5 minutes here, but based on this conversation, I can see your calm nature. So I have to ask you, how do you manage to stay calm? I know we're not in a crisis right now, but if we were to be in one, how do you stay calm when you're leading a team and you're just trying to navigate your way through just a certain situation?
Well, I think it comes from realizing that everyone's watching you when you're leading. You need to make sure that you're casting the shadow of what you want them to be. And in the middle of a crisis, you want everyone to be as calm as possible. So I think what you see me being calm is really muscle memory. Football players don't go out and play a game without actually doing the practice beforehand. So I've just had a lot of experience in it. And I always joke with my family and friends that I'm great in a crisis, but I'm terrible afterwards, because then you get a chance to think about what you just did.
Absolutely. Well, I have that book up for people to take a look at it. What would you say, do you think people underestimate how quickly, a small issue can become a crisis? And if so, what are the signs to watch out for?
No, absolutely. I would say that the number one rule in crisis communications is avoid it. So it's really smart to be ahead of whatever you're putting out from a brand and marketing perspective. There's all types of opportunities to be able to social media monitor and think through your message, but then also see how your customers are reacting to it. And you get a lot of information from reading the comments, some good, some bad. But when you read the comments in social media, it often gives you almost the pulse of what's happening, and it allows you to read the temperature. Pay attention to that. It's helped me in many, many cases throughout my career to be a little bit ahead of the curve, looking around the corner.
Yeah, and we know crisis can come in any shape or form, whether that's a natural disaster, public scandals, or anything. But this book that you're seeing on your screen can help you navigate that. Michelle Earhart, before I let you go, just give us the key takeaways from Crisis Compass, what you want people to know before we wrap things up.
Plan the work and work the plan. Do your homework. And that means when the bad day happens, you're going to be a lot more prepared.
Alrighty, that's Michelle Earhart joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk. Take a good look at it. We have that book posted there. Are there any logistics? Where can people go to find it if they are interested in purchasing it?
I'm so glad you asked. We are actually having a book signing tomorrow night at Novel from 6 to 8 p.m. It is available at Novel Bookstore, also on Amazon and barnesandnoble.com.
Perfect timing. How about that? Again, that's Michelle Earhart joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us here on the Action News 5 digital desk. Here on a Friday, another code orange air quality alert across the metro area as we continue with this stagnant air mass. So those with breathing sensitivities, difficulties, issues should probably be inside yet again here across the area, or at least refrain from being outside for prolonged periods of time, and also doing strenuous activity. You go outside for just a couple of minutes in this type of air mass. Sometimes, it's just hard to breathe at times, especially if if you do have those breathing issues. To the low 90s we go here today, still well above average across the Mid-South, and some better chances for rain and storms as we go through the course of the day as the frontal boundary gets a little bit more active. And that could have some implications for our Friday Football Fever game of the week. Briarcrest taking on St. Benedict here tonight. Temperatures in the 80s for the 3-1 matchup tonight. Somebody's going 4-1 and somebody's going 3-2 tonight. We'll ease our way back down into the mid-70s by the end of the night with a chance for a couple of showers and storms. Now understand, it's not going to be a washout, but I think that there's at least a chance that either there could be some active rainfall or there could be even some field issues from previous rainfall, as we will have at least an opportunity for rain. It's not a certainty, though, as we go through the course of the day. Take a look at it with our first alert futurecast. We run this through here. Notice as we get towards 3-4 o'clock this afternoon, spotty downpours across the area. About a 30 to 40% opportunity for seeing some afternoon downpours. Some of these could be heavy, locally strong. Can't rule it out with some gusty winds and small hail potential. They will tend to fade away pretty quickly after sunset. So by the time you're watching the Friday Football Fever games of the week here on Action News 5 tonight at 10 o'clock, most of the rain's done at that point. We'll ease our way back down into the upper 60s and low 70s here to start off the start of your Saturday. By the afternoon hours, more spotty downpours possibly on the way as we head through the course of the day. It won't be for everybody, but again, some spots may have to tangle with a shower or thunderstorm. Your Memphis Tigers taking on the Arkansas Razorbacks. 11 a.m. kickoff at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. Tailgating opens at 6 a.m. over at Tiger Lane. I think we're going to be in decent shape. We'll start off with kickoff with sunshine, but by the end of the game, there could be a few isolated showers and storms as we make a run towards the low 90s. Elsewhere across the region, the Ole Miss Rebels in the Tulane Green Wave in Oxford. There may be an isolated shower or storm there in Lafayette County. That kickoff 2:30 in the morning. Starkville, 5 o'clock kickoff for the Mississippi State Bulldogs, going up against the Huskies of Northern Illinois. You got Kennesaw State and Arkansas State in the northern suburb of Kennesaw, Georgia, of the Atlanta metro area. Nashville, Vandy's at home, 93 there, and 88 degrees at Knoxville, Tennessee for the Tennessee Vols. Want to take a look at the drought monitor. Extreme drought and now in effect for northern portions of Arkansas, southern Missouri, northwest Tennessee. The expansion of the severe drought has also occurred. So we've got issues that are going to continue over the next couple of weeks, unfortunately, but there are some changes and hopefully for the better as we head through the latter portion of this 7-day to 10-day forecast. Unsettled period of time coming into play here as an area of low pressure comes out of Canada. It cuts itself off from the main flow pattern. That will bring us better chances for showers and storms as we head towards next week. Hopefully for us, we'll have some opportunity for decent rainfall and appreciable rainfall over that course of time. It won't be a constant rain, though, here across the Mid-South, but something that we'll be keeping a close eye on. Here's a look at your 10-day forecast. A high of 91 here today. Feels like temperatures still pretty stifling here if you don't catch a downpour, but there will be at least some opportunities for some rain and storms here. 93 on Saturday, 91 on Sunday. Another system comes down out of the pipeline. That's going to bring us more clouds, chances for rain, and cooler temperatures in the 80s as we head throughout much of next week. Below average at some points in time or closer to average for the early portions of fall, which officially begins on Monday afternoon.
Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. This week is National Rehab Awareness Week. We're talking all sorts of rehab, from physical therapy to occupational therapy, speech therapy, any rehab that can restore and strengthen your life. So we're bringing in right now Dr. Mario Ray. He is the medical director at Regional One Health. He's the expert here, and he's going to brief us on this matter, on this week, and how we can educate ourselves on this very important topic. Again, this is National Rehab Week, and Dr. Mario Ray is joining us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We'll just start it off simple with what types of rehabs are we talking about here that are available for patients or any of our viewers?
Well, thank you for this opportunity. Here at Regional One Inpatient Rehab, we offer a variety of rehabilitation services from, as you mentioned, physical therapy, which focuses on strength and mobility, return of function. We also have occupational therapy, which works on activities of daily living, like dressing or grooming, return to work. We treat a number of burn patients who may require adaptive equipment to help with self-care. We offer speech therapy. We treat a variety of patients with brain injuries and stroke survivors who have speech or swallowing difficulties. And so speech therapy focuses on that. But then we also offer other therapy services like recreational therapy. We have access to psychological and neuropsychological services and support, and then specialty rehab nursing therapy as well.
Interesting. So with this week being National Rehab Awareness Week, what's the main takeaway? What do we want our viewers to know?
Well, here at Regional One, we like to say that rehabilitation isn't the end of care, it's the beginning of recovery. A lot of our patients suffer some of the most traumatic injuries, and so we are highly adapted to managing very complex cases where patients have fractures, multiple fractures, or brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, and we want the community to know that rehabilitation is integral in the recovery and healing process.
I love that. Now, Dr. Ray, based on your experience, how has rehab been for patients? Do you have to create a plan, kind of geared to or tailored to each patient, or is it pretty standard across the board?
No, ma'am, it is very tailored. It's a patient-centered, interdisciplinary approach to creating a personalized plan of care for every patient, because every patient is different. It's not cookie cutter rehabilitation. The services and rehabilitation efforts are much different from a patient who has suffered, say, a brain injury, from a patient who suffered a spinal cord injury, or a patient that's recovering from a severe burn, or a stroke survivor. We even take care of patients who we have oncology services here at Regional One who are debilitated from their chemo. They're weak, and they need re-strengthening from that or before chemo so that they can tolerate the chemo. So it's a patient-centered, interdisciplinary approach with our physicians, our specialty rehab physicians, our nursing team, our therapists, our case managers and social workers, all coming together to create an individualized plan of care for every patient.
That's a good way to put it. Now, how does someone get access to rehab services for our viewers who are listening in on this information and they want to make that next step? What does that look like?
Well, we take referrals from hospitals, case managers and social workers, outpatient facilities, but the easiest way to get in touch with us is to call us at our rehab at 901-545-8739, and someone there can help guide you on how to gain access to our rehabilitation services. We offer not only inpatient rehab services, but we also have outpatient rehab services here at our main campus, and we also have a comprehensive rehabilitation service at our campus out east at Quincy Kirby. And so you can just call that main number, 901-545-8739, and someone will be able to assist you.
A lot of available resources available for our viewers. Dr. Ray, before we let you go, was there anything you wanted to share or there's a message that you want to hit home for our viewers watching today?
I will go back to that point that I said earlier about what we say here at Regional One about rehabilitation. Again, it is not the end of care; it's the beginning of recovery, and it's very integral in the healing process. And we would love for our patients to be aware of our services, but not just our services, but rehabilitation as a whole, so that patients can really focus on recovery. Returning function, regaining independence and confidence, and getting back to the community.
All right, that's Dr. Mario Ray, the medical director at Regional One Health, joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk, joining us on what we consider National Rehab Awareness Week. Dr. Ray, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
In for a treat. So many things happening this week. Kicking off tomorrow, the Shell and Will series. It's on a go. It's on the run here. And we have our friend Shelby Smith joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk to tell us all about the great events lined up for this week. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Like you said, we have a jam-packed week and weekend of music and live entertainment here at the Overton Park Shell, and it all kicks off literally starting tomorrow during our Shell Yeah benefit series featuring Big Crit and a local rapper and talented songwriter and art curator. His name is Dame Mufasa. He comes from our underground scene, so very excited to bring him onto the stage alongside Big Crit. And the best part of that Shell Yeah benefit series is that it does empower all of our free concerts. So your dollars are going to like a great place. You're sustaining the magic of music and music accessibility and arts accessibility here at the Overton Park Shell. So that's definitely tomorrow. Make sure you get your tickets well in advance. We'll be selling tickets here, but you still have to purchase them online through Ticketmaster. So definitely, if you want to make sure you have a seamless entry, go ahead and get those tickets today. We'll have food trucks, and again, fantastic show to kick off a very packed weekend of music here at the Overton Park Shell as well. Like I said, on Friday, the Orion Financial Free Concert Series continues with DJ AD and the Vibe Tribe. If you have not caught DJ AD out spinning, local DJ, if you've been at probably any wedding in the city of Memphis, you've likely run into DJ AD. Such a powerhouse, and she is going to be joined by Hope Claiborne and a couple other artists, just bringing that magic to the Overton Park Shell stage. Definitely make sure you have on your dancing shoes for that one, because I know I'm going to be out on the dance floor, so I hope you will as well. And then following up that, closing out the weekend on Saturday, we will have the Princeton James Productions. Kind of think of it as a mixture of like what the Stax Music Academy performance would look like, but also tying in live theater, poetry. They're bringing in just a lot of different talented young artists and seasoned veterans within our arts and culture scene in the city of Memphis. So that is going to close out our weekend on Saturday. But as mentioned, we're still rocking and rolling with all the great music experiences here at the Overton Park Shell. From our Orion Financial Free Concert Series to our Shell Yeah Benefit Series, there's plenty for people to enjoy, and we're just excited to continue bringing the good vibes to the city of Memphis as always.
Look at that. I have the flyer circulating right here on your screen, so you can take a picture and write down all that information. Mark your calendar. So many great events happening at the Overton Park Shell. And as that flyer said, Shell Yeah, and I can agree with that. It's so much fun. It brings so much excitement. And the best part is this is free, right? Do I have that right?
So our Shell Yeah Benefit Series, that is a ticketed show. Like I said, it does empower our free concert series. But the 2 weekend shows featuring DJ AD and the Vibe Tribe and Princeton James Productions, those are absolutely free. So you come, bring whatever you need to have a great time. You can bring your own food. You can bring your own drinks. You can bring table, bring your mom, bring your dad, bring your cousin, bring your aunties. Bring whatever you need just to have a great experience here on our lawn. But definitely make sure if you want to come to our Shell Yeah Benefit Series featuring Big Crit and Dame Mufasa on Thursday, September 18th. So that's tomorrow. Definitely make sure to purchase those tickets in advance.
All right, a family-friendly event. So glad you clarified that. You have all the information here. Shelby Smith breaking that down for us on the Action News 5 Digital. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk, cutting in this morning with an update to some breaking news that we've been following all morning long. Just before 3 a.m. this morning, officers responded to a report of an aggravated assault at the Exxon gas station at the 4100 block of Kirby Parkway. Officers found a male juvenile, later identified as a 14-year-old, who was on the ground with a gunshot wound to the right side of his body. Well, now, according to witnesses, 2 suspects entered the store, and as they were leaving, the victim approached them and exchanged words. One suspect then raised his AR-style handgun and shot the victim once. Both suspects fled the scene, running northbound Kirby Parkway. The juvenile was taken to LeBonner and is in critical condition at this moment. If you have any information about this shooting that occurred on Kirby Parkway, please give police a call. Again, when we get more information about this shooting investigation, we will let you know. We're going to take a 60-second break, and when we come back, we're going to keep things rolling on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Fall is just around the corner, and with fall comes flu season, right? You want to protect yourself from the flu bug that typically goes around. And joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk is Dr. Anna Yang. She is one of the family medicine physicians at Regional One Health. She's joining us with what we can expect during flu season. What is flu season, and if you should be vaccinated for it? Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks so much for joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We keep talking about the flu, so I want you to break it down for some of our viewers about how serious the flu can be.
So the flu can be a huge variety range of symptoms. So some people just have a mild, cold-like upper respiratory illness for, some people even only have it for a couple of days, some people for a week, sometimes 2 weeks, but the flu can also be incredibly severe. The flu can even kill people. The flu has resulted in a lot of hospitalizations and actually a lot of deaths too. Some people might think that, the flu doesn't kill anybody in the United States, but it actually does. In the last season, the 2024 to 2025 season, even though we were still talking about COVID a lot, the flu was actually around quite a bit too. I think the most recent estimated statistics show more than 25,000 deaths in the United States from the flu last year. And hundreds of thousands of hospitalizations. So it's still definitely a big deal. It's definitely something very important to remember and protect yourself from this season as well.
Oh, for sure. And speaking of protection, let's break that down for us, because as you mentioned, with it causing so many hospitalizations and even deaths, you want to prevent that as much as possible. So let's talk about prevention measures. What can we do? What can our viewers do to prevent themselves from encountering the flu?
Yeah, so the most important and still most effective way to prevent the flu still is the flu vaccine. It's been around for a very long time and we know it's effective. And even if it's not 100% effective, even a little bit of benefit makes a big difference, not just for yourself, but for people around you, your friends, your family, other people in your community as well. So the flu vaccine, the shot version of it can be given to anybody 6 months and older. There's a slightly different version of it for older adults and a slightly different version for young children, but there is a flu vaccine, a shot available for all of these people. There is also an intranasal nasal spray. It's just like if you went to the store and got some nasal spray for your allergies type thing, is the same kind of thing. No needles at all. And this is pretty effective as well. And so if you're somebody who definitely no needles, there is a nasal spray option as well. This isn't for everybody. So some people with certain, medical conditions and things like that cannot use the intranasal nasal spray. So if you're unsure, talk to your doctor about it. But there is a needle-free option as well for the vaccine.
As someone who is fearful of needles, it is great to hear that there are different alternatives out there for you. So let's talk about it. I know when you talk about, when many people talk about flu shots, for some they say, oh, I'm healthy, I don't need it. So let's kind of debunk that myth. I mean, even if you're healthy, should you get a flu shot still?
Yes, for sure. Even healthy people should get the flu shot. Again, not just for themselves, because potentially if you're a younger, healthy person, if you were to get the flu illness, you might not have as severe symptoms, hopefully. But sometimes you never know. Sometimes it can still result in complications. It still could result in hospitalization, loss of work and loss of ability to do, your normal activities. But you could also pass it on to somebody else who is not in as great medical condition, who would become, have severe symptoms if they did get the flu. So yes, even healthy people should get the flu vaccine.
Good to know, good to know. Well, let's talk about how often you should get the flu. Some people, they say, hey, I got it last year, I don't need it this year. They kind of alternate the years. What would be your advice for how often or how frequently you should get a flu shot?
Sure. So the flu vaccine itself is most effective for about 6 months. After that, the effectiveness is kind of declining. And also the flu strains generally change every flu season. So the people who make the flu vaccines are doing their best to predict what the most active and potent strains are going to be for the upcoming season. So the following season may be totally different. So the vaccine you got the previous season may not give you coverage at all for the next season. So usually flu season is around October, November timeframe till about April, May timeframe. So the best time to get the flu vaccine is basically now. Now and through October would be the best time. Now, if you get delayed and things happen and, life happens and you don't get the flu shot till later in the season, that's still fine. Any protection you can get is better than nothing. It does take a couple of weeks after you get the flu vaccine for it to become effective. So you do want to get it earlier before the season starts.
This is helpful advice, Dr. Yang. Before we let you go, people who are listening now, they say, okay, I'm sold. I want to get my flu shot. Where can they go to get a shot?
So your primary care doctor is definitely a very reliable place to get the flu vaccine, but also any pharmacy, Walgreens, CVS, even some of the grocery shop pharmacies should also offer the flu vaccine, and often without an appointment, and often if you have insurance for potentially no cost at all to you.
All right, that's Dr. Anna Yang, an emergency and family medicine physician with Regional One Health, joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk, letting us know, giving you that warning, flu season is ahead and how you can prevent yourself from getting the flu. Dr. Yang, was there anything you wanted to add that I did not ask you today?
So for those of you who are dead set against any sort of vaccine, at least then please wash your hands often, try to avoid people who are sick. If you're coughing, cover your mouth with a tissue, with your elbow, with something that's not your hands that are about to go touch somebody else. And just please be careful out there.
All right. Again, that's Dr. Anna Yang joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, Colonel, you there?
We're here.
How are you?
We're good. We're good.
All right, sounds good. Well, we can take you early since you're here. Are you ready to go?
Sure. I mean, it gets chopped up. I mean, is it actually live, or is it you spit it out and chop it up?
It's going to be live. Yeah, we'll take you live. We have you at 8:30, but I mean, if you're ready to go now, we can take you after this break.
Sure. If it sounds good and looks okay, then we can do it. I can't see you. I'm just looking at the skyline of Memphis right now, and
you'll be able to see me in just a moment. We're in a commercial break, but you should be able to see me, okay?
Okay, but the microphone and everything's okay? You can hear me fine?
Yep, you sound amazing. Can you hear me okay?
Yep. Yeah, I hear you well.
Sounds good. I'll see you in a few. Welcome back to the Action News 5 digital desk. You are in for a treat this morning. If you're already planning ahead of what your weekend will look like, or even what you can do today, well, a fall favorite is returning here in the Mid-South. We are talking about the Mid-South Maze, the 25th year for it. Of course, no better way to talk about this event than to bring in the Colonel to discuss this 25-year tradition. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you. Glad you had me.
Glad to have you here. I see you're already in the mix here. We talk about how this is just a fall favorite. So many people look forward to it. What should they look forward to for this year?
Well, we've been doing the same thing for a long time, which is hard to say for so many events, but it's very basic in its principle, then, that we have a large maze cut into a cornfield. It's a 10-acre labyrinth. There's questions all throughout the field. If you get the question right, it'll lead you down the right path. If you get the question wrong, you might get a little lost.
And what type of questions are we talking?
We're talking Memphis trivia, corn and agricultural trivia, pop culture trivia. We mix it up. So if you've seen some questions in the past, we might have some new ones out here for you this year.
I love that. I'm going to put on the screen now just some video and pictures of the maze to give people an idea of what they can expect. Again, you're in the mix of it all right now. What do you hope people, what do you think they'll be the most excited about, or what should they look forward to?
Well, we've got some great corn this year, and that's what it's really all about. The corn's nice and tall and green, and in spite of the drought, we have an irrigation system, so we're able to water it through that lack of rain that we had, and the corn's nice and tall. The deer are loving it. We got all kinds of wildlife out here, so it's just a great thing to do with your family, to not be sitting in front of the TV or your phone. Just get outside and enjoy the weather.
I love that. This definitely is a family-friendly event. You can bring out the entire family and everyone will have some fun. Outside of the maze, I know you said there are some other things that you can do. I know there's some twists and turns. You can have a bonfire. What else?
Yeah, we have a hayride and a bonfire on a family nights in October. That's free. Free hayride and bonfire where you can do s'mores. Of course, Friday and Saturday nights in October, the maze becomes haunted. So we have monsters jumping out of the corn at you. And if you feel so inclined, you can come out Friday and Saturday nights and see if you're as brave as you think you are.
I'd probably be no good. I just jumped at this monster behind you, I should say, but you're a natural. It didn't faze you at all.
Oh, there's something back there?
You see that?
Oh.
Okay. See, you're a natural. I'd be running all over the place. Okay, before we let you go, we got to get people there, right? So let's talk logistics. Let's talk parking, tickets, where they can go so that they can come and get in on the fun.
Absolutely. We are located at the Agri Center, which is on Germantown Road and Walnut Grove Road, right adjacent to Shelby Farms Park. The parking is free, so free parking, and you can get your tickets online at our website at midsouthmaze.com. We have, different family packages, and we have just individual tickets on there as well. So everything's available online, and we're just right here in the heart of the city, so it's real easy to get to.
All right, so if you're looking for a family activity or maybe a school trip or even a date night, this is the spot for you. The Mid-South Maze joining us again for year 25. So much fun to be a part of. All right, this is the Colonel joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk. Was there anything you wanted to add or share that I did not ask you today?
I think we got most of it. We're just looking forward to having another great year. And I know the customers that we've had look forward to it year after year. Every year the design changes. So it refreshes itself, and it's new and a new puzzle each year. So we look forward to having you all.
All right, sounds good. That's the Colonel joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk. Have a great day, okay?
All right. Thank you all.
Well, it sounds like you have your plans for the week and weekend. If you are looking for something to do this Friday or Saturday, you know the spot now. Of course, we're going to take a 60-second break. And remember, it's a Friday. So we are speaking with our friends at La Prensa Latina. You don't want to miss that live interview coming up at 9:30. We'll see you then.
Were you screen recording it?
You are good to go.
You should have.
Thanks so much for sticking with Action News 5 Digital Desk. It's that time of the morning where we chat with our friend Talisa Franklin, keeping us in the know about all the great events happening in the 901 this weekend. Good morning to you, Talisa.
Great morning to you, Taylor. It's always great to be with you on a Tuesday.
We always look forward to having you here. I always get excited for this interview because I'm trying to plan out my weekend on a Tuesday, and you help me do exactly that. So let's just jump right into it. I guess we'll start off strong here. I guess it's not too early to talk about some drinks. I hear there's a lemon drop festival happening. What's going on here?
Baby, the Lemon Drop Festival, you know, that's like the drink for people that love to drink, right? I think it's cute and it's fun, and I like bright colors, right? So listen, y'all, we want to make sure that we celebrate all these great things that's happening here in our city. The Lemon Drops on the River, y'all, is happening on September the 21st. Celebrating the last day of summer. Whoa! Last day of summer. So you may as well get you a good drink. There will be water station, cooler tents, more flavors, all the different things you can do on Forbes Bluff City Park, happening at 51 North Front Street. Listen, all you have to do is go to Lemon Drop Festival, Memphis, Tennessee, at Memphis.com and get more information. It's happening on September the 21st. Lemon Drop. So you heard the plural, Taylor. It's drop. So that means you can have more than one drink. You can have more than one drop.
Okay, make sure you get dropped off there then if you're going to have more than one. Yeah, that's going to be a really great event, especially since the summer is winding down. No better way to end it than with that. I'm going to put that flyer back up one more time so everyone can get that and add it to their calendar. Well, Talisa, the fun doesn't stop there. I mean, if we're looking ahead to, later next month or later this month, we got to talk about the Southern Heritage Classic. The parade's coming up too, right?
Yes, the parade, and this is what we want to make sure people know about the parade. The Southern Heritage Classic Parade, y'all know, for many, many years, we've always walked up and down Park Avenue just having a great time. Shout out to the Orange Mound Community Parade Committee that does this each and every year. Saturday, September the 27th. Listen, Taylor, this year, there's so many great things that's happening this year. I cannot even wait. Every year I'm a part of the parade, but this year I'm going to be really in the parade. And so me and so many of my Victorian sisters, we're going to be walking in the parade, celebrating, loving Memphis and loving God. So we'll have all those signs, but more so there's going to be an array of people that's in the parade celebrating, getting ready to play Alcorn versus UAPB. It's going to be a great time. And just shout out to Fred Jones for the vision of the Southern Heritage Classic. Yeah. And then shout out to the Orange Mound Committee Parade for making sure they put on something in the community. Y'all know how I feel about our communities. It's imperative that we have things in our community so nobody has to feel left out. Everybody feel valued, heard, and seen, celebrating great events that's happening in our community. So it's going to be an amazing time next Saturday.
I love that. We always talk about the classic, how, the game is an experience, but you want to get the full experience, and that really kicks off at the parade. So as you mentioned, that is something we got to get people out, especially to support our new teams. Alcorn, it's their first time in the classic, so we can show them some love and show them how we get down here in the 901. So that's great, Talisa. I love that.
There's nothing like showing love. Yeah.
And you know that all too well. Okay, so I guess after all this partying everyone's doing, it's never, we can always show some love and bring people to the church. What do we have here?
Absolutely. And this is happening this Saturday, y'all, at Christian Faith Church. Listen, we're going to Henning, Tennessee, y'all. And so listen, Pastor Michael Reed and the Christian Faith Church is having a leaders empowerment. I believe that leaders should always go get more empowerment to be a better leader. So shout out to Pastor Michael Reed and the entire Christian Faith family for having my dear brother, an amazing leader, empowerment teacher, is the one, the only. When I tell you he knows how to teach empowerment, you got to understand. Dr. Daryl Griffin has so many books on empowerment. He will be right there at the Leaders Empowerment Conference happening this Saturday from 10 to 2 at 250 Cooper Creek in Henning, Tennessee. Listen, y'all, if you're available, scan and register, get there. All leaders, you always need more leadership skills, because there could be one word or one phrase that could help you push you into that next. So I'm always loving to support leaders, because it's imperative leaders always get more information and knowledge to be a better leader. Because that's what we all got to be, trying to be better, Taylor. We're just trying to be better.
I love that. That's not a bad drive. Just about an hour and 5 minutes on up there to check out this conference, the Leaders Empowerment. As you mentioned, we need more leaders, so that is a great event to have. Well, Talisa, you always come and you always bring it, and keeping us in the know about these events, from the Lemon Drop Festival to the Classic Parade to something kicking off this weekend, which is the Christian Faith Church Leaders Empowerment Conference. We thank you for joining us on the Digital Desk. Was there anything you wanted to share that we did not ask you today?
Yeah, I want to just say to Memphis, we will get through this together. Memphis, stay positive. Stay positive. Don't let anybody shift your moment of time. Stay positive. We can do this together. Taylor always tell people we're better together. Community, one of the key words in community is unity. And so once we continue to be unified of building our community to be the best community that we know we can be, then we'll start seeing all the changes that we want to see in our community. And so just know, Memphis, I love you. I try to tell you every day, but I really do. I love you, Memphis.
Talisa, Memphis loves you back. Again, that's Talisa Franklin joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Looking forward to chatting with you again next week. Enjoy the rest of your day. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm Taylor Tucker in for Andrew Douglas. We have a really great treat for you this morning. We are speaking with a lady here. I know we've been talking a lot about girl power all morning long. Well, you'll see why. We have Keisha N. Blaine joining me. She's a Memphis author. She's joining me on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. She is working on, or should say, she produced a book here, and she's here to tell us all about it. Good morning to you, Keisha. How are you?
I'm fine.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. So I'm looking at an image here, and I actually want to pull it up so our viewers can see it as well. Let me see if I can pull that up. We're looking at this book, and it says, Without Fear. Keisha, explain this to me. What are we looking at here?
Well, this is the cover of my latest book, Without Fear, Black Women and the Making of Human Rights. And this is a fascinating history in which I essentially tell how Black women shaped human rights history from the early 19th century to the present.
I love that. And the thing that's captivating my attention here is the title, Without Fear. Walk me behind the scenes. How did you end up with this title, and how do you want this to resonate with people?
Well, this actually comes from a quote from 1944. It's actually a phrase that Mary McLeod Bethune, who I think many people know, very well-known educator. And so she was speaking to a group of Black women and essentially saying, listen, we need to come together. We need to strategize. We need to coordinate with other women across the globe. And we need to advocate strongly for human rights. And we should do so without fear and hesitancy. And I just thought that was such a powerful quote. And so this part of the quote is really the perfect title for the book, because it is a story about Black women who are courageous at a time where things are quite difficult, but they do the work without fear and without hesitancy.
I love that. And this book is going to highlight so many women throughout history. But I'm also interested to hear, because we are based here in Memphis, you also speak on 2 Memphis women as well. Can you tell us who they are and kind of elaborate on their role?
Yes, I talk about the influence of Ida B. Wells. I also talk about Mary Church Terrell. I think so many people know Ida B. Wells as this fierce anti-lynching crusader. And one of the things that I focus on in the book is not solely what she does in the context of the United States. She's certainly a civil rights activist. She's advocating strongly for the protection of Black people within a U.S. context. But I talk about her global impact. I talk about her travels abroad, specifically how she goes to the UK in the late 19th century and advocates strongly for human rights. And I think this part of her story is not as well known, but is so significant in understanding her as a key figure, not only in the national story, but the global story. And in a similar way, I follow Mary Church Terrell as she travels to Switzerland in 1919. She gives this powerful speech at a women's conference, and I focus on a resolution that she drafts. It's a human rights resolution that essentially echoes what we later recognize as the founding documents of the United Nations. And so this is just one way that I highlight the way that Black women have shaped this history, even though they don't often receive the attention in the way that we talk about it in mainstream ways. So I really do center their voices and their experiences.
I love that you are bringing that to the spotlight, their stories and how what they have done, what they did, or, is making an impact, not only, years ago, but even now in today. So I must ask you, because was it challenging for you to kind of research and to get this information? What was that process like?
It was very challenging, but rewarding too. I think when you're writing a book like this, you feel like you're doing detective work. You have to dig, you have to use multiple different databases, you have to pull pieces together. And I tried to do that. So I relied on census records as one example. I went through historical newspapers to find quotes, to find examples that I could present in the book so that readers could get a good sense of these women's ideas and experiences. So it was a lot of work, but very rewarding, and I'm thrilled to be able to release this book.
It must have been a lot of work, because I know you went back as far back as the 19th century, right?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
How long did it take you to put this together?
About 5 years, but in so many ways it took longer, just because I've been thinking about Black women's history and writing about Black women's history for quite some time, and so I was able to pull on that knowledge as well to really enrich the story.
Yeah, I love that, sharing their stories. I know women like myself are very interested in reading this. Who's your target audience? Is it just Black women? Is it women in general? Women and men? What's your reach?
I honestly think it's for everyone. I think anyone who wants to know more about history, anyone who's interested in these broad themes, certainly anyone interested in human rights. I would say too, even someone who might be thinking, well, this book isn't for me, pick it up, give it a try, because what I do find is that these stories are inspiring. I think you learn a lot of history, but in some ways you learn a lot about life, and perhaps there'll be something in the book useful to help as we navigate this particular moment.
I love that. Well, I am putting your book back on the screen here so many people can take a good look at it. Where can they purchase your book, Keisha?
Anywhere books are sold. I certainly encourage people to try independent bookstores. There's so many throughout Memphis, so start there.
All right. Was there anything you want to add that I did not ask you today?
Well, I just want to encourage those who are available to join me. I will be speaking at the National Civil Rights Museum on October the 1st. So I'm excited to meet authors, regular, readers, residents, anyone who's interested in this topic. I look forward to the opportunity.
All right, that's Keisha N. Blaine, the author of Without Fear. You know where you can get that book, a very great educational piece for not only women, but women and men. Thank you so much, Keisha, for joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk.
Thank you for having me.
Alrighty, thanks so much, Andrew. The time now is 10:44. I'm Taylor Tucker in for Andrew Douglas. Another great interview lined up for you today. We are speaking with our friends at the Memphis Public Libraries. They have a really great event coming up. It's the annual Teen Arts Fest exhibition. It's exactly how it sounds. We have raw talent on display, and you're going to be able to experience that if you decide to come out and support our teens. Joining us now on the Action News 5 digital desk is Nakia Armstrong. She's a teen services coordinator with Memphis Public Libraries. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us here. So this is obviously a really great event for some of our viewers who are just now hearing about it. Tell us about it. What can they expect?
Well, this is an incredible opportunity for young artists, for teen artists across the Mid-South to be celebrated. In this exhibition, our goal is to promote innovative programming and allow teens a creative space to express themselves. This is a perfect example of what we do at the library every day. I'm excited to have artists from all over the city come out and express themselves in this wonderful exhibition.
I love that. I'm going to go ahead and put up that flyer so everyone can see that and put down that information. This is next Saturday, I believe, September 20th at 11 a.m., the Teen Arts Fest. Kind of elaborate on how this particular festival, I mean, it just really builds a stronger, artistic community.
Yes, this is vital. It's so important for teens to have this space, a welcoming, safe space to come. But like you said, it also adds to building a connected network of community art.
Yeah, I love when I was just reading through some of the information, they mentioned how this exhibition is more than just a display. It's a testament to the power of being able to express yourself through art and celebrate the next generation of creative minds. So let's get people there. They have the flyer here with the information. Who can come? Is there anything they need to know ahead of September 20th?
It's free to all. It's open to all. We want everyone to come out and just to show up and show support for our teens. It's important for them to see that we're present and we're motivating them, but also it's an opportunity for them to sell their art, and we're excited about that. It's a nerve-wracking experience for a young artist to be vulnerable and show their art for the public on a first-time basis. So by showing up and showing our support, and then financially showing our support by purchasing some of their art, it really goes a long way with encouraging our youth.
That's huge. I know the kids would love that, just to be able to put their art on display and to make a little cash from that as well. Is this the first time? Is this the first time for this event, or is this an annual event?
This is an annual event. We do this every single year. It's sponsored by the Friends of the Library. They generously donate funds to make this happen every year. Some of our sales proceeds go back to the Friends of the Library, so we're excited about that. So actually, by coming out to support this event, you're supporting youth, but you're also supporting the Friends of the Memphis Public Library. So we couldn't be more excited about that.
I love that. The Teen Arts Fest coming September 20th at 11 a.m. Mark your calendar. Get out your wallets. Go support these kids who are really just putting their work on display in front of the 901. Well, Miss Armstrong, it's been such a pleasure having you on the digital desk. Before we let you go, was there anything you wanted to add that we did not ask you today?
No, just come out and show up. Show up and support our local art. Our local teen community, we need the support right now. So just come and show up. We'll have food trucks. We'll have live musical performances. We'll have a DJ. We have a keynote address. Our Director of Cultural Economic History, DeMarcus Suggs, will be our keynote speaker for the day. We'll have tons of activities, face painting, henna artists, spoken word performances. It's going to be a fun time.
Sounds like a party. Okay, that is Nakia Armstrong joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We are looking ahead to next weekend, a really big event coming up. It's the 17th annual Mark Walden 5K Walk and Run, hosted by the Sickle Cell Foundation of Tennessee. Again, this big event is happening next Saturday, that's September 20th. So go ahead and mark your calendar, because this particular event raises awareness and support for individuals and families affected by sickle cell disease. A really important conversation to have today. I am joined alongside our friend Dr. Patricia Adams Graves to talk with us about this event. Good morning to you, and how are you?
Well, good morning, and thank you for this opportunity.
No, we are so glad to have you here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. This is an event that's been happening for some years now. This is the 17th annual Mark Walden 5K Walk and Run. What can you tell us?
Well, the Sickle Cell Foundation of Tennessee is the largest advocacy and nonprofit that supports individuals living with sickle cell disease. And we provide social services, especially those that the regular providers cannot, execute, such as, unfortunately, burial support, because sickle cell disease is a genetic disease that affects mostly people of color, especially African Americans, and due to their condition, they have a difficulty just getting insurance. So we also provide, and we're the only ones, I think, in the nation that provides burial support, because they have a shortened life expectancy by 30 years compared to the general population. So therefore, I've been a provider for 30 years on the adult side, and I spent some time at St. Jude and, rotated on the children's side. Yeah. And I tell you, there are a lot of unmet needs for this population. And I think that support through the foundation is vital to their quality of life.
Yeah, and one way you guys get that support and you bring that awareness is with this walk and run, which is one of the several events that you guys host. It's called the Mark Walden 5K Walk Run. Tell me, who was Mark Walden, and let's talk about his legacy.
Well, Mark Walden was one of the weathermen, and he was on, I think, channel 13.
Yeah, I was going to say, it wasn't 5.
Okay, it wasn't 5, but I think he was on 13. He lived with sickle cell, and sickle cell pretty much took him out, and it breaks our heart. So we have named the walk after him because he was a vital part of our community living with sickle cell. Matter of fact, his family from Florida comes up every year to participate in this 5K. Wow. And he left a wife and a young child behind. That child's now, much older, but yeah, Mark, was very vital to our community.
And leaves behind a legacy. This is the 17th annual Mark Walden Memorial Walk and Run. I'm going to put on the screen here just some of the footage that we have to keep people abreast about the information they need for this particular event. Now, who can participate, Patricia?
Now, pardon me, what did you say?
I said, who can participate in this walk?
Anybody. Anybody. Matter of fact, we usually carve out a 1 mile for individuals living with sickle cell, because it's difficult for them to do 5Ks. There's only a handful that can, but anybody can come out. As a matter of fact, please come out. Anybody, young or old, can come out to participate in this 5K. You can walk, you could just stand around. We were going to have food trucks, so it's sort of like a 5K / festival. So you can come out and just party with us. We would love to see your happy faces.
I think that definitely woke some people up here when you said just come out and just party with us, be in the midst, learn and fellowship. You can get the whole 9 here at the Walk Run that is happening next Saturday. That is September 20th. So go ahead and mark your calendar. Dr. Graves, was there anything else that you wanted to add today that you want to share about the Sickle Cell Foundation or this event or whatever you had in mind?
Well, I think that you've put the information up, and I'm one that believes that a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Yeah.
And if you will just flash our flyers around and just put it up one more time, I think that's quite enough. And they can always visit us at sicklecelltn.org to get additional information.
All right, I'm putting that information up as you requested. Dr. Patricia Adams Graves, she is representing the Sickle Cell Foundation. They are hosting the 17th annual Mark Walden 5K walk and run. They want you to come out, participate. You can walk, you can run, you can stand, you can even skip. But more importantly, you can get out there and get educated and fellowship with all who want to learn about sickle cell. Again, this is Dr. Patricia Adams Graves joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk. Did you want to put in your final 2 cents before I wrap things up here?
No, I think we're good. We've been doing it for 17 years. And of course, after being a practitioner, I'm loving being an advocate. This condition is in my family, so I take it seriously. So I am a Muhammad Ali on advocacy, and I'm in this fight. I'm going to stay in this fight.
I like how you put the fist up. We're fighting this, man. This is an important subject that you should educate yourself on. Again, the Sickle Cell Foundation hosting the 17th annual Mark Walden 5K walk and run. We've enjoyed having you on the digital desk. Looking forward to next Saturday, the big event. Of course, we'll check in with you then. Welcome back to the Action News 5 digital desk. I have a friend here joining us on the DD. It's the NFL vet, Merrill Hodge, joining us, and he has a spread in front of us, and he's going to explain why he has this spread, because we're talking about ways to tailgate, one of the best times of the year, right? When you think of football, you think of tailgating, but how can you take it over the notch, right? He's here to spell that all out for us. Good morning to you, and what is in front of you? I don't even know where to start here.
Yeah, well, Taylor, thank you very much. Here's where we should start, the Boveda Humidor. Now, if you have cigars, you like cigars, like a humidor is a critical component, and on game day, it's a must-have. The Boveda Humidor is perfect for cigar storage, which is critical. Get the Boveda Humidor with patent two-way humidity control and sleek design, just $2.99. It requires no maintenance, unlike other conventional humidors. And the Boveda Humidor comes with a one-time seasoning to get you going for the first 6 months, and comes with an auto-replenishing option. But this is a bad boy. It's clean and beautiful. And then snacks, Hellmann's. The reason people show up is because of the snacks, right? You got to have a good game day tailgate. You got to have snacks, and having great dip is important. And it's critical that you have Hellmann's Disappearing Buffalo Chicken Dip. The secret ingredient is obviously Hellmann's mayonnaise. Get the recipe at Hellmann's.com. Here's where Hellmann's stands out from the others. Hellmann's does not get oily or separate. It holds up through heat and time, and it stays craveable from kickoff to the final snap. And then Dad, Borden Cheese, Comfort Foods unite us all. Fan favorite, make your own grilled cheese bar. That means you add things like meats, carrots, tomatoes, avocados. You got to be creative. In a recent grilled cheese survey showed 1 in 4 Americans prefer using mayonnaise instead of butter for grilled cheese crust. In this room, it was 2 for 2. But who doesn't like a grilled cheese with Borden American cheese melts or Borden jalapeno? It's better with Borden. And then we got to watch the game, right? So an LG OLED This line goes up to 83 inches. That's a 48 inch, and it's beautiful. And then the secret play of the day is ice cream cake. Carville Campbell Cake. Get your ice cream cake at local stores or go to iloveicecreamcake.com. So Taylor, there it is for game day. You got every option possible, and now you just hope it's a good game, and you have a great day.
Even if it's not a good game, that spread will certainly
True
put you
story.
in a great mood for sure.
True
All right,
story.
Before I let you go, I know you have a spread there. Is anything there your absolute favorite?
Actually, the humidor. You know, because I know how critical
okay.
getting a good humidor is. And listen, and that might be between the dip too, because I love dip. And then having a good dip the entire game, another critical component. So those might be my two faves.
Can't beat that. We always love a great dip. I'm a spinach dip type of girly. All right, before we let you go, you gave us a lot of information here. If we wanted to learn more, is there anywhere we can go to get that additional information just so we can have all the notes we need when it comes to tailgating?
Absolutely. BovedaHumidor.com for the humidor, Hellman's.com for recipes and Hellman's mayonnaise, and then BoardandCheese.com for creative options, and LG.com, and then the secret one, iloveicecreamcakes.com. That'll get you all the options that you could possibly need, and everybody who walks into your building or your tailgate is going to go like this. I hit a home run.
Certainly hit a home run. We hit a home run having you here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Thanks so much for joining us, and you got us ready, and we are ready for game day and all the great games happening here in the Mid-South and around. Thanks so much, okay?
Thanks, Taylor.
And from the Action News 5 Digital Desk, I'm First Alert meteorologist Patrick Ellis. Not doing the news this time. We're actually going to do a little bit of weather. Of course, we just had a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of Cross and St. Francis counties. I do want to take you out there and kind of give you an idea of what we're seeing right now. This is a live look from our RDOT camera. That's a look at I-40 in Forest City. You're looking back off to the east. You see the lightning popping off there in the distance. That kind of gray look there, that is rain coming across Crowley's Ridge, coming down the ridge line here this morning and moving into the delta of Arkansas. So that's what we're dealing with here early this morning with that severe thunderstorm that was actively severe not terribly long ago. That did include portions of Colt and Caldwell back up towards Wynn and down towards Forest City here this morning. Have not gotten any reports so far of anything active as far as wind and hail reports. So that's good news from that perspective, but still a lot of rainfall, at least with this storm that's now moving through, again, portions of Cross and St. Francis counties here this morning. So let's take a look at what's going on the bigger picture. That's a look at First Alert Doppler radar. And again, one thing that I've noticed here in the last probably hour or so, actually a downward trend in the intensity of some of these storms. If you've watched me do severe weather coverage here on Action News 5 any length of time, you probably heard me say the hour or two around sunrise and sunset seems to be the perk up moments for these storms. And it's kind of been the case here as we've gone through the last little bit here this morning. Zoom into that storm that's now moving across Crowley's Ridge. You just saw that from the RDOT camera there. Again, its track will take its way eastward about 20 miles per hour. These things have actually slowed down. They were moving about 25 not terribly long ago. The general track will take it to Hughes, Arkansas, 9:30 there in southern portions of St. Francis County, eventually out towards Horseshoe Lake at 10:01 in southern Crittenden County. West Memphis, 10:15, Walls, Lake Cormorant, Horn Lake as we get towards about 10:30. That would also include places like Lake Coro and heading down towards Boxtown, Westwood at the same time, if this all holds together. And eventually, if it holds together even further, 10:30, 11 o'clock as we get closer to the midday time frame here on Action News 5. You might be watching meteorologist Riley Winch dealing with the showers and storms moving into the metro area as well. Farther down to the south, another storm that's working its way across Phillips County. This one also sub-severe, but still has a lot of lightning with it, moving through Helena, West Helena, Walnut Corner, and through Marvel and Elaine at this hour. It's now stretching across into Coahoma County. This track will take its way over the Mississippi River at Helena, West Helena at about 9:20, 9:30. But even now, seeing some showers and storms there in eastern Phillips County. Moves over to the Coahoma community at about 9:44. Jonestown in Coahoma County by 10:02. That's about the same time it would probably be around Clarksdale. And Sledge, Mississippi in northern Quitman County, crossing Mississippi Highway 3 by about 10:32. Off to the north, this is a look at the loop over the last hour, and you see the showers and thunderstorms working their way eastward across portions of Cross County, St. Francis County. Still tons of lightning with that storm moving through portions of Cross and St. Francis counties at this moment. As I mentioned, about 10 o'clock or so across the Mississippi River if it all holds together. But there has been a slight weakening trend here in the last little bit. As we go into what you see, that line there going across Somerville and Oakland, stretching back down into northern portions of Marshall County. That's actually an outflow boundary, actually a double outflow boundary, if you will. That means that the storms that are to the west are weakening, and they have been doing such over the last couple of hours. So we still expect that there will be a general downward trend here as this frontal boundary gets a little bit closer to us. Now I'm going to zoom out. I want to show off a couple of things here. And I put the upper pattern here. That's the coloration that you see underneath the clouds and radar. Of course, you see the showers and thunderstorms moving through portions of eastern Arkansas. Another batch of storms moving across eastern Oklahoma, across the Red River Valley. Then there's a coloration of orange and yellow as you look back up towards Bismarck, North Dakota, and Minneapolis, St. Paul. That is actually the upper low that's kicking this off. And there's a little dip and it's turned inward towards the east. That is a trough axis. That is what's helping to spark these showers and storms off, and actually a weak frontal boundary currently over the mid-south that will stall out as we head through the next 12 hours or so. So here's a look at it with our First Alert Futurecast. You'll notice moving forward here, we've got temperatures that will still be able to work their way back up through the 80s and 90s here today. Variably cloudy skies. I still think that if this holds together, it would be probably crossing the Mississippi River sometime about 11 o'clock to 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock this morning, moving into the metro area. If it does hold together, that's the question mark here. Then the storms will work their way eastward and then clearing out behind it. Temperatures still in the lower to middle 90s this afternoon, outside of any shower and thunderstorm activity. And there's still some implications that we could see a shower thunderstorm that could have impacts for Friday football fever games here across the Mid-South. Our game of the week is Briarcrest taking on St. Benedict over in eastern Shelby County. Hopefully it'll be dry out there, but we could be dealing with some showers and thunderstorms, so we'll be watching that closely as well. Here's a look at the planning forecast for the rest of the day. To the low 90s we go. And again, kind of a back and forth with those showers and thunderstorms up and down on the coverage, but it won't be a constant rain. But hey, I will say this, again, we're in that amidst of a drought right now. I don't think anybody's complaining about some rainfall here across the area. Thankfully, it's kind of happened after the beginning of, after the rush hour this morning. And nothing really worried about here in the city of Memphis, at least at this point. But that afternoon rush, when we're talking like lunchtime, folks trying to get out and about, might have a couple of showers and storms to contend with at that point. So here's a look at the extended forecast. This is going to go through the next 10 days. Actually, I think I pulled the wrong one. So you'll get an extra day here for funsies here. This is actually the afternoon forecast. But you know, we might as well give you a first alert to day 11 on this one. So when you look at it here, the downward trend in temperatures, and also the reason why I say this is wrong is because technically I didn't update this graphic. This is Ron's graphic. You can see because he's got fall begins at 1:19 on Tuesday, but it's actually Monday. The day shifts when we go a day extra. He hasn't updated this, so you know that's the reason why. Anyways, the numbers are the same though, and numbers from this morning are the same as what you see here. Again, temperatures will be in the 90s as we head into today, tomorrow, and Sunday. There's another system that will come down the pipeline. This one's the one that's going to cut itself off from the main flow pattern as we go into next week. And what that will do for us is bring in more clouds and opportunities for rain and storms coming into the fold. I don't think it's constant, but at least some opportunity for rain coming in here. That will be good news. We desperately need the rainfall, and we will at least get a chance to see some of that here in the next couple of days. Now, I'm going to circle back over to the RDOT camera because I want to show you again what that's looking like from that storm's perspective moving through Crowley's Ridge right now. And again, you're looking from Highway 1, that's Arkansas Highway 1 that's running underneath the interstate there. That's I-40 east and westbound. The folks who are coming in your direction towards you is, they're heading to Little Rock. The folks going away from you heading towards Memphis. And in between Little Rock and Memphis right now, there's that thunderstorm coming across on the eastern side of Crowley's Ridge, moving down off the ridge line and heading into the delta of Arkansas. And we'll go back over to the radar. Just kind of wrap it all up here. Again, we've got a couple of things that we are keeping an eye on. It's not just that, though. We also have some showers and storms that we're keeping an eye on as well up to the north. And those storms are also developing here over the last little bit, and we'll continue to move off towards the east. We'll zoom into Mississippi County, Arkansas, some heavier pockets of rain and storms up that way, moving across Blytheville, Osceola, Luxora, moving across the I-55 corridor, approaching the Mississippi River. And for folks who are in Dyer County, Tennessee, you got a downpour up around New Bern, right along the county line up there, from there to Obion County. So we do have some showers and storms now moving into West Tennessee. Mostly they have been eastern Arkansas storms here as we've gone through the last couple of hours. As we kind of take a pan zoom back over towards it. Let me see if I can get that to pull up here. And for some reason that doesn't want to pull up. That's fine. We'll circle back to it here anyways and kind of zoom back out. Let me go back over here to this. And I can pull it up this way. But fact of the matter is that we're still going to be dealing with these showers and thunderstorms here over the next couple of hours. We'll zoom out to kind of a broad metro view here. And again, you can kind of see the showers and thunderstorms moving through portions of Mississippi County. And again, the strongest storm of note still was previously severe warned. That's moving through Cross and St. Francis counties right now, basically more so into St. Francis County. So if you're traveling along from Forest City over towards Jeanette right now, crossing over the St. Francis River, that's where the heaviest bout of showers and thunderstorms are currently located at here in the metro area, across the Mid-South really. And of course you see the lightning still popping off left and right with this morning. So again, when you go back and look at the current situation with that and where we're headed for this afternoon and how things may play out. Again, we still have a chance for some showers and thunderstorms to refire up here across the Mid-South through the course of the afternoon hours for today as these storms get ready to get started here this afternoon. So we may have a few isolated storms. The SPC, oddly enough, does not have us underneath a formal risk here today, but we did mention the last couple of days that a few of the storms could be gusty, could be a little feisty with some heavy downpours, frequent lightning, and some small hail. And that's been the case so far with the storms that we've had this morning, and we'll probably have another chance as we head towards the afternoon hours as the last portion of this front kind of works its way eastward. Now, we'll also let you know that the front that's moving through here will stall out. So that keeps our weather a little bit murky for the weekend. And when I say it like that, I don't mean that it's going to rain all weekend. I don't think that that's going to be the case. We have so many events that are outdoor dependent, weather dependent here this weekend. I don't think that you have to cancel plans, but just keep a keen eye to the sky through the weekend, especially for things like the Runway 5K over at Memphis International Airport. We've got the Broomcorn Festival happening in Selmer, Tennessee, the Mid-South Balloon Festival in Rossville. A lot of stuff going on this weekend. Isn't the Isley Brothers over at the Garden tonight? Or there tonight? Okay, 8 o'clock. Kelly, you going? I just had to make sure. Look, I thought the Isley Brothers were in town. It was either tonight or tomorrow, but yeah, tonight over at the Garden. So hopefully the weather will hold out for them as well, because I know. Listen, I'd be over there too. I can get tickets. So maybe I can scrounge up some tickets here to go over there to the Garden and go see the Isley Brothers. But hopefully the weather will hold out. You see this about 9 o'clock this evening. Switches back over to the First Alert Futurecast. And hopefully by that point, not much going on here. So for Kelly Cook, who's sitting over here, I think we might be all right. But keep in mind, as we were mentioning earlier, any storms that we do have here today, field conditions, if the rain does happen to happen over at your location, field conditions could be a problem. So a little mud at some of the football games. Hopefully not the Garden, but we'll see how it plays out. All right, for that right now, it is 9:22. And what we'll do here, we'll take a commercial break. We'll come back here. We've got our friends at La Prensa Latina. They're coming up here at 9:30 this morning. Taylor Tucker, still here. She hasn't walked out the door just yet. And we'll get a check with her and our friends over at La Prensa Latina coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Stick around.
Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We are cutting in to give you an update, or we should update you on the traffic alert here. This is I-40 at Watkins this morning in that westbound direction. There's an early morning crash earlier, maybe about 5 to 10 minutes ago. They had a few lanes blocked here. It seems as if all lanes are open, but traffic still stacked. Still need some time to fully recover from that accident. Again, this was an early morning accident in this westbound direction. It seems as if traffic is moving slowly but surely, so be on the lookout for just that early morning crowd, some lingering crowds here, lingering traffic, I should say, as you're traveling along I-40 near Watkins in this westbound direction. We're wrapping up an early morning accident.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. The Memphis Animal Shelter is launching a new project, and it's to improve the community pet health while reducing strays. Susie, good morning to you. Let's begin just talking about this project, and I understand it's Project Paw Tech. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Let's hear it.
Well, this project, it's an initiative aimed at improving pet health directly in the communities and assisting pet owners and bringing resources very much needed by pet owners, especially during this climate. This is also to address the stray population, and we'll be going door to door, basically knocking on doors, trying to get some of the strays back home to prevent them from having to come into the shelter, while also helping those pet owners get into compliance and have the necessary vaccines and microchip that they're legally required to have.
Okay, so tell me more about how it works for neighborhoods. If someone's watching, we have thousands of people who watch each and every morning here on the Digital Desk, Susie. If someone's watching right now, they have a pet or they want to support the Memphis Animal Shelter, what's the best way they can do that?
Well, in this particular project, we're aiming on areas with high stray populations. So we'll be coming into the neighborhoods. We'll be putting flyers out and signs and things around in the neighborhood so they know that we're coming in the upcoming week. And that way they know to get, we have a vaccine clinic and recognize our officers while we're in the field, get to know some of our officers and our employees so that they can utilize these resources as we're in the neighborhood. For those that are interested in helping the shelter, we welcome volunteers all the time. We'll be doing these clinics and outreach every 2 weeks going forward directly in the neighborhoods on the weekends. So we welcome volunteers. We, especially at the tables where we'll be doing the vaccine clinics and utilizing the volunteers to give out the resources we're bringing to the neighborhood. We will need more volunteers for that. So we welcome any assistance. We always need volunteers here at the shelter. So there's a way to get involved. If you can't foster or adopt, there's a way to get involved here directly at the shelter and provide assistance as well.
A lot of times when new implementations of a project, sometimes there's reasons behind it. Were there reasons why it was so important to begin this project, Susie?
Yes, unfortunately, in some areas of Memphis, the population, the dog population especially, is out of control. And we want to do what we can to try to, so many people don't understand the ordinances that dogs are not allowed to roam. So we want to come directly in the neighborhoods, try to get some of these dogs back home, knock on doors, explain the ordinances, and at the same time help their dogs be in compliance with their vaccinations, with the microchip, so that if the dog gets out again, if our officers in the area, we can help get that dog back home instead of having to bring the dog back into the shelter. It's a way for us to be proactive to prevent these animals from roaming the streets or having to come into our shelter and, add to the population here in the facility.
Where can people get information about the project online?
At memphisanimalservices.com. We have on the news section of our website, it lists the information about this particular project. Again, we'll be out every 2 weeks going forward in different neighborhoods. And as the week or two before we're coming into any particular neighborhood, we are putting out mail outs and flyers to the residents in that area so that they know exactly where it's located. It's hard to advertise. These are going to be really small clinics. So if we advertise, we could get overwhelmed. We want to keep it centralized to those particular neighborhoods.
Okay, Memphis Animal Services Director Susie Hollenbeck joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Thanks for the info about the project. Good luck. We appreciate your time on the Digital Desk.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Hey, Hyro, how are ya?
Hey, I'm great.
All right, it's me again, Hyro. 2 Fridays in a row,
all
we're on
right.
a streak.
2 Fridays.
We are
Lucky
going to come
me.
to you right after this break.
Okay.
Welcome to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. You know what today is. It's time for us to speak with our friends at La Prensa Latina about all the latest and greatest things happening here across the Mid-South. And of course, we're bringing in our friend Jairo joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Hey, Jairo.
Hey, good morning. Happy Friday. 2 weeks in a row. Lucky me.
How did we get so lucky? It's so good to have you on the Digital Desk. You know, how things been with you?
Oh, everything's been great. We are coming from our kickoff, which was a United Festival, which kicked off Hispanic Heritage Month. And now we're off to launching the rest of our Hispanic Heritage Month, which there's a lot planned in the city. There's a lot in our publication that we're doing. Of course, there's as you see on that headline, there's actually the Mid-South Fair that's coming in, and they're having a grand celebration too for Hispanic Heritage Month, which they're gonna have Banda Maguey, which is it's a super band back. It was so popular back when I remember as a kid and growing up. But Banda Maguey is, let me see, they're gonna be coming in on September 20. I'll verify this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want, yeah. On September 28th, yes. So September 28th, on that headline is going to be when they're going to have the Latino Day for Hispanic Heritage Month. And so it's going to be, like I said, usually a bunch of Latinos will go out there and just have a blast. And of course, everybody in the community goes out to the fair food, the rides. We just got done with the big fair here in Memphis, and now this one's over at the Lander Center in Mississippi. Which is just a jump over, right? It's not even that far.
Jairo, that's an easy drive. That's nothing. We can definitely make that. All right, so let's switch gears here. Let's talk sports. Boxing, what is this?
Yeah, so Canelo was in the headlines this weekend. There was a big Crawford. He fought against Crawford and he lost. Canelo is a superstar when it comes into boxing, and he just got outboxed this weekend. And we go full deep into his thoughts on it. Of course, on his press release, he said, they asked him, is he gonna continue boxing? Is he gonna retire? And he's always said, he's like, my track record speaks volume, right? He's beat so many champions, high quality, high caliber competitors, and but yeah, this time he just got outboxed, and he admits it, and he gives props to Crawford.
You know, Jairo, I tried my best to watch that fight. It was so late at night. I think I only got like maybe 1 or 2 rounds in, and I was watching it like, what's going on? But that was a really entertaining fight, and he can't let that one loss, get him down or maybe to retire from that. But we'll see. So definitely that is worth the read.
He's going to continue. And it's the first time that it was on Netflix, too. It was another thing that was, it was free on Netflix. Yeah, boxing matches usually, especially the last fight, the main fight is usually late at night. But yeah, so they're usually in Vegas, so that's even the time shift and everything. But yeah, boxing. So this particular boxing match was one that is it was a Middle Eastern investor, I forgot his name right now, and Dana White has also been involved to make boxing. They basically want to make boxing I don't want to say exciting again, but it's exciting again, right? Boxing has always been one of those sports where it's amazing to watch, thrilling, especially back in the day, Mike Tyson and Sugar Ray, everybody, all the great boxers. And now they wanted to make sure they even had a price. So to make this, they have bonuses for knocking people out. That's crazy.
Boxing is a thrilling sport, so that's a good chat here. All right, before I let you go, I do want to switch gears and get into some of our harder headlines. I know a conversation that many people have been having over the course of the few weeks is, reactions about if you want the National Guard. Do you welcome them here, or you don't think the city needs them? And I know that's a headline that you guys have been talking about. What more can you tell us, Jairo?
Yeah, so as you've seen, and you said it yourself, there's headlines, Shelby County Republicans are in favor of it. City leaders are against it. We need more resources. And I think they're both right. I think that we do need more resources, and but we also do need some help. And one of the things that has impacted, especially our Latino community, and our Latino community is kind of decisive. I've seen many interviews from business owners and leaders here in the city of Memphis that are Latino that welcome and don't welcome the National Guard. There's so many Latinos that live in blighted neighborhoods, or that just it's also, or they have business and their cars get broken in, time after time after time, and nothing gets done. And at the same time, there's that concern: where is the National Guard going to play a major part in the ICE deportations? Right, that's for the Latino community. I think that's the major fear. Are they? Because through some of the things that they have to do is also help with and collaborate with immigration services or any other government, right? Which is understandable, but it's still until they get here, we'll see how that kind of takes place and how that takes shape. And of course, we're going to continue covering it here at La Prensa Latina and just keeping our finger on it, and of course here along with you every Friday at Channel 5.
And we look forward to it every Friday. You keeping us in the know about the headlines that you guys are covering at La Prensa Latina. All right, let's get people there. Let's talk logistics. How can they find the latest headlines and information for La Prensa Latina?
Yeah, so on social media, everybody's on their fingertips. So La Prensa Latina Media on Facebook and Instagram. Of course, website, again, on your fingertips or laptops or desktops at laprensalatina.com. You can also find the printed publication at your favorite. There's a lot of restaurants, Las Delicias, and Mexican restaurants across the city. Popular spots are always also on the farmers market, Winchester Farmer Market, Cordova Farmers Market. You can find a full list of our distribution list at laprensalatina.com. Just toggle to their distribution list. And every Friday here with you.
All right, sounds good. Jairo, thanks so much for joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend.
Anytime. All right. That was Jairo with La Prensa Latina. The time now is 9:39, 77 degrees outside as you're looking over downtown Memphis. We still have more Action News 5 Digital Desk ahead. Stay put. All right, Hannah.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. The Memphis Animal Shelter is launching a new project, and it's to improve the community pet health while reducing strays. Susie, good morning to you. Let's begin just talking about this project, and I understand it's Project Paw Tech. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Let's hear it.
Well, this project, it's an initiative aimed at improving pet health directly in the communities and assisting pet owners and bringing resources very much needed by pet owners, especially during this climate. This is also to address the stray population, and we'll be going door to door, basically knocking on doors, trying to get some of the strays back home to prevent them from having to come into the shelter, while also helping those pet owners get into compliance and have the necessary vaccines and microchip that they're legally required to have.
Okay, so tell me more about how it works for neighborhoods. If someone's watching, we have thousands of people who watch each and every morning here on the Digital Desk, Susie. If someone's watching right now, they have a pet or they want to support the Memphis Animal Shelter, what's the best way they can do that?
Well, in this particular project, we're aiming on areas with high stray populations. So we'll be coming into the neighborhoods. We'll be putting flyers out and signs and things around in the neighborhood so they know that we're coming in the upcoming week. And that way they know to get, we have a vaccine clinic and recognize our officers while we're in the field, get to know some of our officers and our employees so that they can utilize these resources as we're in the neighborhood. For those that are interested in helping the shelter, we welcome volunteers all the time. We'll be doing these clinics and outreach every 2 weeks going forward directly in the neighborhoods on the weekends. So we welcome volunteers. We, especially at the tables where we'll be doing the vaccine clinics and utilizing the volunteers to give out the resources we're bringing to the neighborhood. We will need more volunteers for that. So we welcome any assistance. We always need volunteers here at the shelter. So there's a way to get involved. If you can't foster or adopt, there's a way to get involved here directly at the shelter and provide assistance as well.
A lot of times when new implementations of a project, sometimes there's reasons behind it. Were there reasons why it was so important to begin this project, Susie?
Yes, unfortunately, in some areas of Memphis, the population, the dog population especially, is out of control. And we want to do what we can to try to, so many people don't understand the ordinances that dogs are not allowed to roam. So we want to come directly in the neighborhoods, try to get some of these dogs back home, knock on doors, explain the ordinances, and at the same time help their dogs be in compliance with their vaccinations, with the microchip, so that if the dog gets out again, if our officers in the area, we can help get that dog back home instead of having to bring the dog back into the shelter. It's a way for us to be proactive to prevent these animals from roaming the streets or having to come into our shelter and, add to the population here in the facility.
Where can people get information about the project online?
At memphisanimalservices.com. We have on the news section of our website, it lists the information about this particular project. Again, we'll be out every 2 weeks going forward in different neighborhoods. And as the week or two before we're coming into any particular neighborhood, we are putting out mail outs and flyers to the residents in that area so that they know exactly where it's located. It's hard to advertise. These are going to be really small clinics. So if we advertise, we could get overwhelmed. We want to keep it centralized to those particular neighborhoods.
Okay, Memphis Animal Services Director Susie Hollenbeck joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Thanks for the info about the project. Good luck. We appreciate your time on the Digital Desk.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We have an amazing event that is happening later this month. We are talking about the St. Jude Walk. It's happening downtown. It's September 27th. Always a great time. And fortunately, this year, Ariana Poindexter, my co-anchor in the morning, along with me, I have the privilege of also being an MC this year. And joining me on the Digital Desk, I'm joined by two parents, Craig and Ashley. They have a child, my understanding is, at St. Jude. Good morning to you both. Tell me a little bit about your situation.
Good morning. So we do. We have a son, Ingram. He is a patient at St. Jude. And It started with his preschool calling when he was 3.5 years old, and they called to say that something had happened on the playground. They said that he had a headache and that he was holding the back of his head and just kind of crying. Nobody saw him fall, so they didn't really know what was going on. So I went and picked him up from preschool, and I saw that afternoon what they were talking about. He kind of held the back of his head back here, and he was crying for about 20, 30 seconds, but then was fine. It happened a few more times over the next few days, and each time it got progressively worse and he got sick with it. So after talking to our pediatrician, they were thinking he might have migraines, but we would need to get a CAT scan. So the next day, after being with the pediatrician, we went to get a CAT scan. And then later that afternoon, they called and said that Ingram might have a brain tumor.
And that was back in 2012. And so we've had a long journey with that, and with St. Jude, and been a patient there ever since. And Ingram is 16 today and doing outstanding. But we've had a long journey with St. Jude, and really love what they do.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, listen, I appreciate both of you, Craig and Ashley, for opening up to us and our audience. We have thousands of people who watch us each and every morning on the digital desk. Tell me, is your son still getting treatment at St. Jude?
Yeah, no. So his treatment protocol lasted about 6 months to 9 months. He was, and he had a very aggressive type of cancer. It's called anaplastic ependymoma. It's a brain tumor. And so St. Jude actually developed a unique protocol, treatment protocol for him because of how aggressive it was. But that lasted about 9 months total. And then he has not had treatment since then. But we go every year for checkups to meet with his primary oncologist and for them to monitor different parts of his growth as he continues to grow after all the treatment and whatnot. So.
Excellent, excellent. You know, a lot of times when patients are a part of St. Jude and the life-saving care that they give each and every day throughout the years, a lot of times they want to be a part of giving back and being on the staff in some form or fashion. Has he ever talked to you about that?
Yeah, he has. So his primary doctor is Dr. Amar Gajar, who's outstanding, one of the best in the world at pediatric brain tumors. And Ingram he's a junior in high school, and he has indicated that he's interested in oncology. And so he's looking at programs, undergraduate programs that could get him to that type of career. But he specifically would like to do what Dr. Gajar does.
That's fantastic. I love that. What a great story there. You know, we are, as you heard in the introduction, my co-anchor and I are going to be a part of the St. Jude Walk later this month, September 27th at Tom Lee Park. Have you guys taken part of that? If so, you know, tell me your experiences.
Yes, we have been involved with it, with the walk for about 3-4 years now, maybe. And it is so much fun. The people who come down for the walk, I feel like it's almost a version of a family reunion because people just do it year after year after year. And it's not something that you have to go out and train for. It's literally getting your family together, getting your church group, your people at work, companies. It's such a community event.
Yeah, I agree. I enjoyed it when I was a part of it a couple of years ago. It's almost like a celebration. You know, it's a celebration of not only having a gem like St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in our backyard, but also just a celebration of the life-saving care they give throughout the year for so many thousands of families, not charging families a dime. What do you want to say to the people who are watching us right now that perhaps they want to join, or maybe they're on the fence about joining this walk on September 27th at Tom Lee Park?
Yeah, I'd say join us. It's a great day. It's, you know, you don't have to be a marathon runner. You can come out and walk. Some people run fast. Some people go slowly. It just depends. You know, you can do whatever you want to do. It's just it's a day of celebration. And I would just say, look, you know, childhood cancer sucks. There's not a real eloquent way to say that. But what St. Jude does is amazing. And we have in downtown Memphis, you have a team of people who are changing the way the world understands and treats cancer. And the world is a better place because of what they're doing downtown. It's in our backyard. And it's a day where we can go out and celebrate what they're doing. We can go out and support them. And to me, it's just a lot of fun to be able to take pride in something that's going on here in Memphis that's really impacting the world for the better.
Okay, the St. Jude Walk, September 27th at Tom Lee Park downtown. You can register by going to stjude.org and be a part of the fun. Thousands of people are going to be there, and it's always a great celebration. Craig and Ashley, thank you for coming on the Digital Desk, talking about your story. God bless you and your family, and I look forward to seeing you on September 27th at Tom Lee Park downtown. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you very much for having us.
Mr. Benford, you there?
I'm here. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing wonderful.
Look at all those awards behind you. Oh my, I can't wait to chat with you. So we have one interview ahead of you. We're going to take you right at 10. So we're going to take this next one. It's going to be 6 minutes. Then we will go to you. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right. And just for the record, state your first and last name. I want to make sure we have it correct on our end.
Vasal Benford.
Vasal Benford. All right. We're going to be with you in just a moment, okay?
Thanks so much.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. So many people start their day with an energy drink, but are they safe, especially when it comes to kids and teens? On the Action News 5 Digital Desk, I am joined by Dr. Rudy Kink. He is a physician at Le Bonheur Children's Hospital, joining us to talk about this issue. You know, Doctor, for me, you know, when I think of an energy drink, I tell some of my folks, hey, look, the best energy drink is coffee. They've been drinking coffee for like thousands of years, but so many people drink these other energy drinks. How safe are they, or how dangerous are they for kids and teens? Good morning.
Hey, thanks for having me here. Well, that's a great question. Remember, everything you do is in moderation. So for energy drinks, you got to look at what's in them. Sometimes the caffeine content can be really high. Usually the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that teenagers have around 100 milligrams of caffeine per day. Some of the other energy drinks really have a lot of sugar that's really not great for kids or even adults.
No question about it. So, you know, let's talk about some of the issues, Doctor, when it comes to energy drinks, because I'm curious, do you see kids coming to Le Bonheur Children's Hospital because of some of the energy drinks that are on the shelves?
Well, we do. And when they come to the emergency room, they're not coming in because they specifically took the energy drink. What they are exhibiting are the side effects to the energy drink. So I'll see them coming in for heart rate that's racing, they're feeling jittery, they don't feel right. And after you talk to them and examine them, you figure out that they did drink one or even two energy drinks before or during practice. And that's how it usually happens.
What kind of energy drinks are we talking about here?
I mean, you're talking about any of them. You're talking about the Red Bulls, the Alanis, the Celsius, the Bang, any of these energy drinks that when they have not only caffeine in them, but they have sugar, toluene, they have niacin, B3, things like that. These all have an effect on the body.
Got it. And so what do you tell your patients when they come in, they're feeling not themselves, and you have determined that they've had either way too many energy drinks or, you know, a dangerous kind of energy drink that having adverse conditions? What do you tell them in terms of just guidance when it comes to these things?
So I'm a father of one teenage girl and a couple other children, and my other two are pretty young. But with my daughter and her friends, as well as the teenagers I see in the emergency room, I ask them, number one is, what are they expecting to get from the drink? Is it the taste? Is it the energy? Is it the caffeine? What is it that they are wanting? If it's taste, are there alternatives that we can look at? If it's caffeine, we talk about moderation and the amount of caffeine that they should take. And so that's what I do. And then I talk to them about when you take too much of something, like you've drank one or two of these energy drinks, the feelings you're having is because of that. And this is not what you wanted, and how it can affect the body and things like that. And we come up with alternatives to it instead of just saying don't do anything, because they can have 100 milligrams of caffeine a day.
How does that compare, doctor, with a 8-ounce cup of coffee, for example?
So usually an 8-ounce cup of coffee will run anywhere between 80 to 100 to 120 milligrams of caffeine. And that's kind of the ballpark range. Sometimes if people add espresso and things like that, you can go up to almost 180 to 200 milligrams of caffeine in a drink.
Okay, and so so for the thousands of people who watch us here each and every morning, what is a good guidance for kids and teens out there to make sure that it's safe for all of them, and perhaps some parents, adults? I mean, these energy drinks pack so much in there, could be dangerous for them as well.
Right. Number one is, if you have children, kids that are under the age of 13, 14, they really shouldn't have that much caffeine. Maximum should be about 60 milligrams. So energy drinks should be off the table. Number two, when you're looking at those upper adolescents, if they are going to consume an energy drink, really look at the sugar content. Also understand the side effects. These kids, if they take it, they may feel jittery. It will affect their sleep and things like that. They will be tired. Their performance in school can decrease. This has all been documented and published recently in some of the articles out there. And so talking to parents about that, and again, looking at alternatives to things like caffeine, you could do, sodas, or, like a cup of coffee in the morning for adolescents if they want it, or like one of the, we call them sugary drinks at Starbucks or one of the coffee stores. You can look at that kind of stuff. But the energy drinks not only have caffeine, and I point out to them, they have other ingredients in there that can cause the heart rate to increase, like the niacin, the taurine, and things like that. So it's just not the caffeine, but it's the other things in there as well. So this has just added an extra punch, which is really not healthy for the kids here in the Mid-South.
No question about it. Is there a place online where people can get some information on what we talked about? We've talked about a lot here.
Yeah, so you go to American Academy of Pediatrics. They have a lot of information about energy drinks. I know Johns Hopkins, as well as Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, also has a lot of information in their nutrition section about energy drinks and the effects on the body.
All right, Dr. Rudy King joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk from Le Bonheur Children's Hospital. We appreciate the warning for all those parents out there. Thank you for the information. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Basal, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, one more final request before we take you. I see you got some other people coming in here, huh? They want to record it. Is that what they're doing? Can you make sure his video is... Yeah, I'm about to tell them now. Yeah. All right, so before we get you, can you rotate your camera? We're going to need you horizontal, not vertical. So just rotate. Keep going. Yeah. So it should be like a little, if you're on your phone, it should be like, let's see.
Like that?
Yeah, but we need you flipped as well. Let's see. What are you on, your phone or your laptop?
I'm on my phone.
So you need to unlock it. So your screen is probably locked to where it's only vertical. So you should see like a lock button, and just unpress that, and then it'll rotate it.
Like that?
There we go. Yes. Yes. All right.
How's that?
That's perfect. All right, I'm going to take you in just a few. All right, I'll be with you in just a moment, Basal.
Yes.
Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. You might want to turn up your TVs or however you're watching, because you're going to want to listen to this interview. It's not every day that we have a Grammy Award-winning music producer joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk, but we have one today, and obviously joining us for a great reason here. I'm going to bring in our friend, Vassell Binford. Good morning to you.
Hi there. How are you?
I am well, even better now. It's so great to have you on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. So how are you feeling? I know we are coming off a very eventful weekend where it was all things B.B. King celebrating his 100th birthday year. So tell us a little bit about how that went.
It went beautifully. We've got a new album released with Joe Bonamassa with a lot of great artists and everybody has joined in with Mr. King. Mr. King is such a beloved man that it's hard not to. Everybody loves him. U2, every major artist, Joe Bonamassa, Buddy Guy, everybody's joined us in celebrating Mr. King.
I love that. You have many roles. One of your roles is just being the chairman of the B.B. King estate. Just kind of talk about your role and how, you use your title, your influence to continue to just promote the legacy of B.B. King.
Yeah, it's an honor to represent someone like Mr. King because he is so beloved and has, influenced so many great musicians across the world and people, abroad, all globally, all over the world. His impact has been felt everywhere in the world. And my job is to keep his legacy going. And, we have a new biopic that's going to be released during 2026, new albums with Montreux Jazz Festival. We're just going to be doing tons of things because he's just such a great artist, just like Michael Jackson is the king of pop, Elvis Presley the king of rock, B.B. King is the king of the blues.
I like how you put it. That is so true. So here, it's 2025. So let me ask you, what does honoring B.B. King look like in this year? Like, how do you continue to let his fan base grow with even the younger generation?
Well, I've worked with artists I've produced every artist on the planet. So I've worked with artists like Quavo, new artists that I can't mention everybody, but there's going to be a lot of great new young millennial artists on the record. We're working with Aloe Black and, hopefully we'll work with John Batiste and people who love B.B. King.
I love that. I was just reading on, your background, and obviously, it is very extensive. I don't think I can cover everything in one sitting here, but, for you, what is it about music that just keeps you motivated and keep to tell your story and even B.B. King's story?
Well, music is such an international language, and globally, it touches the hearts of people, and we need more love in the world, and I think music is definitely love, and it spreads love and good cheer. So I'm gonna always play music. I'm gonna always love making hit records. That's just my thing.
Speaking of some of the hit records, what stands out to you? What are some of the projects that you've enjoyed working on?
We just recently won a Grammy with Chris Brown. I think that was a great record, and we worked with Jennifer Lopez. We've worked with a lot of, really great artists and a lot more to come.
Yeah, I have to turn it down because when you said Chris Brown, I have some coworkers who want to scream. They're already booking their tickets to his concert because I know he's on tour right now. But of course, it's so good to have you on the Action News 5 Digital Desk, and of course to talk music because Memphis is all about music. But when you say Memphis, you have to say B.B. King as well. Vassell Binford, before we let you go, was there anything you wanted to share, you want to add today that we didn't ask you today?
No, but I just like to say that we're going to be honoring Mr. King all year long, and we'd like everybody to join in the celebration and reawaken his spirit because he's such a great man and he's such an awesome talent. I'm honored to represent him, and we're gonna be rocking B.B. King all year long. So join us.
And you're doing an excellent job at that. Again, this is Vassell Binford joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We thank you so much for stopping by, and we look forward to chatting with you again. And as always, celebrating the one and only B.B. King. We'll see you.
B.B. King. Thank you. King of the Blues.
Absolutely. Alrighty, guys, you're getting a live look over downtown Memphis at 10:06. Now it's a great time to get a check on your forecast with First Alert meteorologist Patrick Ellis.
Thanks for joining us here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Here on a Friday, another code orange air quality alert across the metro area as we continue with this stagnant air mass. So those with breathing sensitivities, difficulties, issues should probably be inside yet again here across the area, or at least refrain from being outside for prolonged periods of time, and also doing strenuous activity. You know, you go outside for just a couple of minutes in this type of air mass. Sometimes, I mean, it's just hard to breathe at times, especially if you do have those breathing issues. To the low 90s we go here today, still well above average across the Mid-South, and some better chances for rain and storms as we go through the course of the day as a frontal boundary gets a little bit more active. And that could have some implications for a Friday football fever game of the week. Briarcrest taking on St. Benedict here tonight. Temperatures in the 80s for the 3-1 matchup tonight. Somebody's going 4-1 and somebody's going 3-2 tonight. We'll ease our way back down into the mid-70s by the end of the night with a chance for a couple of showers and storms. Now understand, it's not going to be a washout, but I think that there's at least a chance that either there could be some active rainfall or there could be even some field issues from previous rainfall, as we will have at least an opportunity for rain. It's not a certainty, though, as we go through the course of the day. Take a look at it with our First Alert Futurecast. We run this through here. Notice as we get towards 3-4 o'clock this afternoon, spotty downpours across the area. About a 30 to 40% opportunity for seeing some afternoon downpours. Some of these could be heavy, locally strong. Can't rule it out with some gusty winds and small hail potential. They will tend to fade away pretty quickly after sunset. So by the time you're watching the Friday Football Fever games of the week here on Action News 5 tonight at 10 o'clock, most of the rain's done at that point. We'll ease our way back down into the upper 60s and low 70s here to start off the start of your Saturday. By the afternoon hours, more spotty downpours possibly on the way as we head through the course of the day. It won't be for everybody, but again, some spots may have to tangle with a shower or thunderstorm. Your Memphis Tigers taking on the Arkansas Razorbacks. 11 a.m. kickoff at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. Tailgating opens at 6 a.m. over at Tiger Lane. I think we're going to be in decent shape. We'll start off with kickoff with sunshine, but by the end of the game, there could be a few isolated showers and storms as we make a run towards the low 90s. Elsewhere across the region, the Ole Miss Rebels in the Tulane Green Wave in Oxford, there may be an isolated shower or storm there in Lafayette County. That kickoff 2:30 in the morning. Starkville, 5 o'clock kickoff for the Mississippi State Bulldogs going up against the Huskies of Northern Illinois. You got Kennesaw State and Arkansas State in the northern suburb of Kennesaw, Georgia, of the Atlanta metro area. Nashville, Vandy's at home, 93 there and 88 degrees at Knoxville, Tennessee for the Tennessee Vols. Want to take a look at the drought monitor. Extreme drought and now in effect for northern portions of Arkansas, southern Missouri, northwest Tennessee. The expansion of the severe drought has also occurred. So we've got issues that are going to continue over the next couple of weeks, unfortunately, but there are some changes and hopefully for the better as we head through the latter portion of this 7-day to 10-day forecast. Unsettled period of time coming into play here as an area of low pressure comes out of Canada. It cuts itself off from the main flow pattern. That'll bring us better chances for showers and storms as we head towards next week. Hopefully for us, we'll have some opportunity for decent rainfall and appreciable rainfall over that course of time. It won't be a constant rain, though, here across the Mid-South, but something that we'll be keeping a close eye on. Here's a look at your 10-day forecast. A high of 91 here today. Feels like temperatures still pretty stifling here if you don't catch a downpour, but there will be at least some opportunities for some rain and storms here. 93 on Saturday, 91 on Sunday. Another system comes down out of the pipeline. That's going to bring us more clouds, chances for rain, and cooler temperatures in the 80s as we head throughout much of next week. Below average at some points in time or closer to average for the early portions of fall, which officially begins on Monday afternoon.
Dateline's back with an all-new season, and they're marking a very special milestone as they're hosting a first-ever live event in Nashville at the end of September. And we caught up with Dateline correspondent Keith Morrison to talk about all of it. Welcome, Keith. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. Good to be here. A live event is, don't know what to make of this, but we'll find out.
Right. Well, first of all, Dateline is coming up with its 3,000th episode anniversary. What does this incredible milestone mean to you?
It makes me tired to think about it.
I understand.
Yeah, we've been doing this for over 30 years now, and this is our 34th season, I want to say.
Wow.
And we love doing it. Obviously, we have loved doing it for a long time. And I just 3,000. That's crazy.
That is amazing, isn't it? And Dateline has built a huge and dedicated audience and community that resonates with so many people. What sort of impact do you think the show has had, and what makes people so invested in the series?
Boy, those are hard questions to answer because there are a lot of different reasons depending on who the person may happen to be. But, it's our program is particularly popular among females, among women. I think there's a reason for that. Women need to be on the lookout around the world to make sure that no matter where they live, because their personal safety is a little more of an issue, I think, for some women than it is for some men.
Right.
And the stories we tell tend to go to those places where people think about them, worrying about them, feel they need to know about them. And perhaps these stories are useful in that way.
Well, this live event sounds really interesting and unique. Can you give us a little preview on what people can expect to see if they come to see the show in Nashville?
It's in Nashville at the Pinnacle on the 28th. And, well, I guess we'll all be there. All the correspondents will be there. The show is hosted by some famous folks who I'm looking forward to meet myself. I'm going to look down here to see that. It's Michael McKean, Annette O'Toole, and Holly Robinson Pete are going to be there with it. Yeah, so it's quite a night. There are actually 2 shows that people can sign up for both if they want, or just come to one of them. And we'll be talking about all things Dateline. And I don't know exactly everything we're going to be doing. It'll be interesting.
I hear you. In addition to the 2 sessions, there's also, I understand, a VIP event where we understand people will have a chance to meet you and the other correspondents. That should definitely excite Dateline viewers. You looking forward to meeting some of your fans?
I always like to meet people, yes. I meet them every day. And if they come to this event, I'd be happy to meet them there, too. Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
The story a lot of people have been following, the story about the dentist in Denver who was accused of poisoning his wife with milkshakes. This is the nature of the subject of our program tomorrow night.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to it, and we'll look forward to this new live event in Nashville. Hopefully, I won't get to go, I don't think, but somebody from here will definitely be there. I can't wait to see it. I'll be watching, though.
Good.
Thank you so much for joining us. To learn more about Dateline's first ever live event and buy tickets so you can be part of it, head to datelinenbc.com/event and tune in to see Dateline's new 1-hour mystery Secrets of Exam Room 9 right here on Action News 5.
Good morning. Welcome to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Have you heard of the kissing bug disease? Well, this is something that the CDC says that cases have been reported, that it is certainly relevant, including cases all across the country and here in the Mid-South. We're talking about Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas. The insect often bites people on the face, which is how it got its nickname. So what is it? How serious is it? What can we do to prevent it? Joining me on the Action News 5 Digital Desk, our friend Dr. Anna Yang at Regional One Health. She's an emergency medicine primary care physician joining us to talk about this kissing bug disease. And Anna, I got to be honest, I haven't heard of this before. Tell me how long it's been around. How serious is it? Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. So yes, the kissing bug disease, or the Chagas disease, which is what many of the kissing bugs carry, has actually been around for a long time. And it's been in the US for a long time as well, just not as many cases. It was actually a disease primarily of South America, Central America, and Mexico. So we didn't see it very much in the US, but it seems like gradually over time, this kissing bug has gradually moved its way up north and is coming into the United States. It's still primarily a disease of the southern area of the United States, but we are seeing a few scattered cases now here, further north in the U.S. as well. Yes, that is a photo of what the kissing bug looks like. Size-wise, it's just a little bit bigger than a penny. There are a couple of different species here in the U.S., but yes, that is exactly what they look like.
Nasty, I just got to say, not fun to look at. There it is, and in relation to a penny, you're absolutely right. So deadly Chaga disease. So how serious is this? So if we were to get bitten by one of these bugs, what happens to us?
So the kissing bug bite isn't actually what infects you. So kissing bugs, like a lot of other bugs and insects, want to drink blood. This is how they get their nutrition. So they're looking for you or your dog or some sort of other animal that they can bite and drink blood from. Now, it's not the mouth that they're transmitting the disease from, though. Some of these kissing bugs, after they drink the blood, they then poop. And it's then their poop, which carries the parasite in it, the Chagas disease, that then gets into the wound that they bit you from, or potentially if it's on the face, maybe into your mouth or maybe into your eye, when you rub your face. These bugs are most active at night, so they're often biting people when they're asleep. And so, if you roll over in the bed, kind of irritate your face or rub it or something, that poop left over from the bug can get into something, some hole, some wound, some eye or mouth or something in your face, and then cause the infection. Most people who get the infection are still okay. Most of the time, within a month or a month and a half, they might develop some vague symptoms, some mild symptoms. Some people even have no symptoms. Rarely do people have really severe symptoms that affect their heart or their brain. And it does kill people, but not very often. Now, that's the acute phase. Now, the chronic phase, though, affects up to maybe a third of these people. And the chronic phase, can take many, many years to begin, but this can involve issues with their intestines and their heart long term. And I've actually seen some of these long-term effects of Chagas disease back when I used to work in Texas, where there's a lot more of these cases than there is here in Tennessee.
Wow. Okay. Man, lot to discuss there. Bug feces, among other things. Certainly, I wasn't expecting that, Anna, but listen, you're giving us the straight truth, unfiltered here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We appreciate that. So you said in those rare instances it could be fatal, but generally it's other symptoms are what? Fever, that sort of thing?
Yeah, you're kind of really vague symptoms, body aches, fever, maybe a rash. Often where the infection went into your skin, they'll have like a bump, like a kind of a bug bite, kind of a swollen red area, often kind of somewhere on the face, which is where they usually initially bit you. But it's just really vague symptoms, and that makes this so hard to diagnose. It's often not something that we in the emergency room or in the primary care clinics are identifying. It's something we're generally relying on our, really smart infectious disease specialists to come in and do the specific testing for and get these really detailed histories to really identify the cause. Luckily, there is testing that tests specifically for this disease, and there is treatment. There's an antiparasitic, and there is treatment for it as well, especially in the early phases.
So how can we prevent it from, I guess, pooping on us? How can we prevent this bug from infecting us? Let's just say it that way.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to prevent the bug from getting to you is to keep it away from you, period. So these bugs often like to hide in dirt and debris and in cracks in walls and things like that. So make sure, any holes or anything in your house are getting sealed. Make sure, if you've got windows open, that there's a good, reliable screen covering them. If there are any piles of dirt or debris or things like that that can attract these bugs and give them a place to hide during the day around your house, helping to clear that will help. And also animals. They don't attach like ticks do, but they can catch a ride on animals that are outside. So if you have outdoor dogs, just be careful of them as well. There is testing for dogs as well. Dogs can also get sick from these. And if you're concerned, talk to your veterinarian about this.
So, Anna, where can we go for information with regards to this? I know that there are thousands of people who watch us each and every morning, and perhaps they're hearing about this kissing bug disease for the very first time. Is there a place online?
So the CDC website has some good information. And like I talked about, Texas was a pretty big kind of area that would get a lot of this disease in the US compared to the rest of the United States. So where I went to medical school, Texas A&M, they have actually done a good amount of studies and they've got research ongoing. So there's actually some information through the Texas A&M website that you can look at along with the CDC and the Tennessee Health Department.
Okay, Dr. Anna Yang joining us on the digital desk, giving us that unfiltered truth on the kissing bug disease. I appreciate you coming on here and telling us exactly what it's all about and ways to make sure that bug does not infect us. Anna, thank you, as always, for coming on the digital desk and informing us about what this is all about. We appreciate your time.
Actually.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hi, Todd.
Hi.
I'm just. Todd, you need to.
Hello.
I'm just
Hello?
gonna be quiet.
Oh, that's fine. Hey Valerie, this is Taylor talking.
Taylor, I got you. I'm really sad. I had not had to write you back. I'm really sad. I'm gonna miss you, girl.
Thank you so much. You made my job so easy. The several pitches, they certainly helped me out. So I'm going to miss you, Valerie.
I'm gonna miss you a lot. I wish you the best.
Thank you. We'll be in touch. All right, Todd, you're the man of the hour. We are in commercial break. Just want to make sure I have your last name right. Can you pronounce your last name for me, Todd?
It's Guffey with a G, Guffey.
All right, Guffey. Sounds good. Well, we will take you guys in just a moment, okay?
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. This morning we are talking all things health, and this is a very important conversation not only for women but men as well. We are talking about self-examination, getting those self-exams. We are talking about getting mammography, those exams that are all essential for your health. And Justin, St. Francis actually has extended hours for you to go and to get that exam, and that is a huge topic here. We are bringing in our friend Todd Guffey to join us and talk more about the significance of this. His title is the Director of Radiology at St. Francis, Memphis. Good morning to you, Todd.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks so much for joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. As I mentioned earlier, this is such a significant conversation to have, and I know you have your own personal story. Do you mind sharing with us your story?
Absolutely. So back in 2003, I felt a lump in my breast. I was doing self-checks, and that was concerning to me. So I went to my doctor, primary doctor, and she did her checks, and she sent me off for an ultrasound and a mammogram, and they found that it was abnormal, both studies. So I took some medicine for a couple of weeks to see if that area would heal. It didn't. I went back, had everything repeated, and they sent me off to a breast surgeon, and I was not even 40 years old yet. So very concerning. I saw the breast surgeon. She said the only way we're going to know for sure is if we take that lump out and biopsy it and go from there. And that was a hard time in my life. From the start of that process to getting all the way to the surgery, probably took about 3 weeks, and just that wait was very emotional time for me, because again, I've been in imaging my whole career for 32 years, and I knew male breast cancer happens. I know it's a lot rarer than female breast cancer, but I also knew if it was breast cancer, there's a high risk of it spreading before I get to know it. So I would recommend that everybody do their self checks, guys. If you have spouses or significant others out there, I would recommend that they push you to do your self checks. And when you go to your primary care physician, make sure your doctor's checking your breast too, because we know 1 in 8 women will get invasive breast cancer in their lifetime. What they don't talk about is about 1 in 726 men will get breast cancer in their lifetime. So it's scary. So I would encourage everybody to stay proactive, get their screenings, and then just follow up with your doctor if you feel anything abnormal.
Yeah, Todd, when I have this conversation with others, and something that I typically hear is, getting that exam saved my life. I'm so glad that I did. I took that step. Do you have that same sentiment?
Absolutely. And we do know that early detection is key. The sooner we find anything wrong, the better we can treat it, and the better the outcome is and the survival rate. So absolutely.
Yeah, and the significance here in this conversation, we were talking about the extended hours that St. Francis is offering now. Can you elaborate on that for those of our viewers who are listening this morning, and maybe they want to go ahead and schedule that appointment? What can you tell them regarding that?
So what I would say is we're going to try something a little bit different for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're going to have mammography Mondays at both the Memphis and the Bartlett campus. At Memphis, it'll be October the 6th and the 20th. From 3:30 p.m. to 6:15, and at the Bartlett campus, it'll be October 13th and the 27th from 3:30 to 6:15. And the goal is really to make it more convenient for folks that are working, so they can come after hours and not necessarily have to miss any time at work and get in for their screening mammogram on those Mondays come October.
Essential information here. All right, this is Todd Guffey, the Director of Radiology at St. Francis, Memphis. Todd, was there anything you wanted to share that we did not ask you today?
Now, again, I will say we all probably know somebody that's dealt with a cancer diagnosis, right? So it is a big deal. I will tell you, I've seen it seems like cancer's hitting younger and younger. So please do your self checks. Please see your primary care doctor for your annual physical, and get those screenings, and just stay healthy. And we hope we don't have to see you, but we're here if you need us.
I love that. And actually, I'm glad that you hit on that when you talked about age, because when you have these conversations with some people, they're like, oh, I'm young, I don't have to worry about this now, I can put it off until later. But is there an age bracket here that you should go and get checked? Or, who's the audience here?
Yeah, I think, the standard is still 40 and older unless you have a family history of breast cancer. So if you're younger than that, follow up with your primary care doctor, talk to them, get their recommendations. And again, if you feel anything abnormal, go get checked. Don't assume it's going to go away. And guys, please, please, please make sure that you're included in this, because again, male breast cancer, we don't like to think about it, but it does happen. And the longer we let it go, the worse the outcome is. So just stay proactive on your health and be healthy.
Todd Guffey, Director of Radiology at St. Francis Memphis, joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk. Thank you so much for the important tips, the important information that we all need, and I know our viewers appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Likewise. All right, guys. The time now is 10:34. We're going to take a 60-second break, and when we come back, we're going to keep things rolling on the Action News 5 digital desk. All right, y'all are good to go. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 digital desk. We are all trying to age in the healthiest way possible, not only looking great, but also feeling great, and most importantly, keeping your brain health very cognitive as well, making sure that we are doing everything to protect our brain. On the Action News 5 digital desk, I am joined by two local trainers at Lifetime Fitness in Collierville to take us through step by step on the best ways to age in the healthiest way. I'm joined by Mariah LaMattina and John Broadway. Good morning to you both. I see you have you're all set up, ready to demonstrate some things. I'm eager to get to this segment here. First off, where do we begin when we want to age in the best possible, healthiest way known out there? Good morning to you both.
Yeah, so I would say it starts with resistance training. As we get older, we start getting a decrease in muscle mass, decrease in bone density. So one of the biggest steps is starting a resistance training program. You want to look at 3 days a week. 50 minutes is the recommended amount. You want to hit most major muscle groups is what you want to do when you're resistance training. And that's going to help build up those bones, those muscles, to help with stability and prevent falls.
Okay, so, just for our audience out there, because we have lots of people joining us on the digital desk, resistance training. So spell out exactly what that includes.
Yeah, I can look at many different forms. It could be body weight training. It could be bands. It could be dumbbells. It could be weight machines in the gym. So really any type of movement that's going to put your muscle under some type of contraction, that's what we're talking about with resistance training. And you want to look at maybe, somewhere between 8 to 12 repetitions when you are doing resistance training. You don't want to do too much weight. You don't want to overexert yourself, because then that could cause other problems as well, such as high blood pressure. So you want to make sure it's a manageable weight that you're lifting. And then you want to do that about 3 sets. And then again, you just want to do that 3 days a week. That's just what the recommended amount is.
Gotcha. Okay. And Mariah, I feel like you're about to tell us something, or at least demonstrate something. Let's see it.
All of the above. So I guess I wanted to start it with just, if I'm speaking to people who are of all different ages today, in your 20s, 30s, there are things that we can be doing to set ourselves up successfully for a healthier lifestyle. But also, if I'm talking to you and you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and you're feeling like maybe it's too late and I haven't done anything and I'm already struggling a lot, I just want to comfort you and let you know that it's never, ever too late The body wants to be healthy. You just have to give it the tools that it needs. So going into that strength training, like John talked about, is really, really good for you. Just starting to move your body in different ways, you're going to start to get progressions and improvements, and you're going to live and feel better as you do that. So that's one thing I wanted to make sure to clarify is it's never too late to start.
That's such an important point out there, Mariah, because there are a lot of people that are might not be in the best shape, and they might think, oh well, every time I go to the gym, I feel insecure about the way I look, and I'm never going to look in shape or look my best self. I shouldn't even start. But your point is, it doesn't matter where you are at any point in your life or any point of your exercise journey. Just start, right?
Exactly. I was talking to a client here at Lifetime last week, and she was absolutely dreading aging and getting older. And we joked about it, but it really is truly how she was feeling at that time based on where she is now. She just can't see that projection getting better and better into your later years. So I talked her through it, and she's already making great strides. I've only been working with her about a month. She's improved her strength, her mobility, and her balance and all kinds of things. So she's doing great. But, science has really developed ways to prolong our lifespan, right? Like, we're so thankful we are living longer and longer, but that science doesn't necessarily figure out how to give us the quality that we're hoping for in those later years. So, it's doing strides, and maybe, who knows, the technology is changing. So any day now we could have this magic pill. But until we have that, we really have to focus on doing the work and continuously doing the work. You can't just do it one time and hope for all these good things to come. You have to really work on your progression of just every day taking a little bit more action.
Okay, and speaking of action, would love to see some action that you guys have planned for us.
Yeah, for sure. We have some demos. John's going to help me out and demos and things. So we want to start with a seated march, because we may be talking to people who have not started anything yet and are just wondering where to start. Maybe you're at work and you're at your desk all day, but you want to get a little bit of muscle activation. So just marching your feet in a chair can be a great way to just start activating your core, engaging your hip flexors, and starting to work from there. Now, this march can be progressed up into a standing position where you're marching in place, driving those knees up to your hip height, engaging that core, flexing the feet up nice and tall so that you've got a really good, strong core engagement. This is not a fast speed thing. We're trying to get the stability in there. You can even progress that further into a hip flexor hold where you're working on some balance there, really testing John here to bring that knee up high to his hip, hold it out, and then maybe kick it out and slow and control it back in. All of those things are really starting to engage those hips in ways that our desks just don't help us do.
Gotcha. No, that's a great idea. I was just going to say, Mariah, that's a great idea, especially for all of us who are working, in an office setting, 7-8 hours or more a day. We need something at our desk. I know a lot of people like standing desks. That's probably a benefit too, right?
Exactly. Although standing for a really long time or sitting for a really long time can be bad, the nice part about standing is you can start to shift. So if you are at a standing desk, try to keep some movement in, maybe lift a foot up under your desk to really keep some movement happening, not just standing still.
Excellent. Okay. So what else?
All right. Our next move is a squat, and we want to start that from the beginning as well. So as you sit down, you want to think about controlling, squeezing the glutes and sitting down into your chair and trying not to use your hands. You can always use those to start, but if you can, try to rise back out of your chair with or without that support of your hands. If dropping down all the way to a chair with control is still difficult, we can always go, as long as you have a very steady surface, a chair or a countertop, you can use your arms on either side of you to kind of drop down into that squat, and you'll progress that range of motion as you go, eventually taking it to a squat without any assistance, dropping back and down into your heels just like you would.
Excellent. Now, I know, John started off by talking about resistance training. This isn't resistance, though, right? This is just other things to get people involved in, just exercising no matter where they are.
So it is resistance training somewhat because you're using your body weight, but most important with this is really get those range of motion in your hips, your knees, your ankles, just really simulating those everyday life activities that you're going to be doing.
And
Okay,
you can always
excellent.
add weight to this as well. You could put a dumbbell in your hands and stuff once you have that mobility and the range of motion ready.
Excellent. Okay. Well, listen, we want to wrap up here, and I appreciate you guys demonstrating some easy things that we can do no matter where we are. Final thoughts, final comments for our audience out there.
Yeah, we do want to talk about a couple of nutrition products that are great for healthy aging. One I want to talk about is creatine. It's our power product. With creatine, this is going to help with your muscle strength. Also, it's going to help with your cognitive as well. There's a lot of studies that come out recently, just help with increasing energy, and also help with brain memory.
For sure.
And then we have a couple other products here too.
We've got our protein that obviously an ideal diet is a whole food diet, eating lots of nutrient dense variety of whole foods. But in our standard American diet, it's very difficult to get all the nutrients you need in just your foods alone. So if you need to and want to supplement, this is a great way to do it. Lifetime has a great line of supplements with our protein. We have an all-in-one that includes some vitamins and minerals and stuff in there as well, or you can get just protein. And for people like me, I'm a vegan, so we do have our vegan and our whey-based products. So protein is a really good one. Most Americans, especially as they age, need to increase their protein intake just a little bit because you're starting to combat that muscle loss and bone density loss that is typical with the aging. So we want to increase the average range of protein intake should be about 0.7 grams per pound, and then anywhere up from there to about 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight. So that's a good goal, and a way to get that in is sometimes adding an extra scoop of your stuff to a shake or a smoothie or even a yogurt bowl, all kinds of things. And then we also have collagen, which does similar things for your body and your brain health, but also helps your joints and can help with your skin, hair, nails, all of that stuff too.
You don't have to be a member of Lifetime to purchase these products. You can go to our Lifetime shop and be able to purchase these as well.
All right. Well, listen, John Broadway and Mariah LaMattina, thank you so much for joining us on the Digital Desk. And I know that the thousands of people are watching right now. They're going to want to go back and look at some of the different things you mentioned, you talked about, you demonstrated, because there's a lot of valuable information here in this interview. We really appreciate you guys coming on the Digital Desk. Thank you so much for taking the time. And we look forward to the next time you join us. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Boy, the weather's been nice recently, hasn't it? It almost feels like fall. Football season, fall, pumpkin spice lattes, and sometimes when it gets into the fall and it's a little cool outside, we love sitting around the fire, right? Campfire, perhaps, maybe a cocktail or two. Well, you can do that. You can do that at one of the best places in Memphis at the Memphis Botanic Garden. I got Jenna Harris joining us once again on the Action News 5 Digital Desk to talk about an event they have later this month. And Jenna, this sounds like the perfect event. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Yeah, we're glad to be back with y'all today talking about our Cocktails and Campfires event here at Memphis Botanic Garden. Like you said, we're all excited about this cool weather. I know it's warming up a little bit this week, but that's all right. We've got a few weeks before this event happens. It's going to be September 26th. And this is just a fun way to come out and celebrate the fall season with friends, come out for a date night. It's a 21 and up event. And we're going to have our campfires all set up. You get to roast hot dogs, make s'mores. We'll have all kinds of fun activities going on. We've got apple cider press, so you get to put some apples in, make your own cider, and then learn about all the different plants that it takes to make those mulling spices. And you'll even make your own mulling spice bag to take home so you can keep the party going later on.
That sounds amazing, Jenna. So tell us where you are. Is this where it's going to take place?
Yeah, so I'm over here in we call it our Great Lawn area, and this is right after you come out from the Four Seasons Garden where the fountains are. It's got our picnic tables. It gives us lots of room to put those fires out and have, like I said, roasting the hot dogs. We'll even have a s'mores bar so you can roast your own s'mores, make them a little bit special, and go over, do some of these activities, make your mulling spice bag, learn about all those. We'll even have somebody here that's really bringing in the fall flavor, doing some pumpkin carving. He's called Carl the Fruit Carver, and he does some amazing talents. He has the pumpkins out with all kinds of really detailed carving. He'll have some of his ones that he's already done, and then he'll be working on one here on site so you can watch him do that.
That sounds fantastic. I love it. I love the creative programs and different events you have throughout the year, Jenna. What else can we talk about with regards to this and the other events that are happening?
Yeah, we have all kinds of fun fall things coming up. A little bit before this event, we'll have our food truck party. It's actually in the same space. We'll have that tomorrow night. So if you want to come out, enjoy a little bit of the food trucks, the warm weather we still have coming in. We'll have Jack and the Fat Man, which is a local band. They'll be out here playing for that. So we've got that event coming up. We've got our last Live at the Garden show that's going to hit on September 19th. That's the Isley Brothers. There are still tickets available. You can grab those. Again, you know, we're hitting that fall season. So just like our last show, the weather starts to get a little bit cooler in the evenings, and it's just a great time to come out and enjoy being out in the garden. So we have all of that as well as the fall plant sale that'll be coming up. So, you know, just always something going on. The leaves will start changing colors, and just come out and explore the garden now that, like I said, it's not quite as hot as it has been. So we're getting to enjoy a little bit of that fall season here at the garden.
I love it. I love it. Jenna Harris joining us, and it is an amazing event, amazing place. That does all kinds of amazing things throughout the year. We appreciate your time, Jenna. Thank you. Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Well, students have returned to the classrooms, and there is a new study from Gallup and the Walton Family Foundation. And it finds that student engagement is at a 3-year high. That's great news. I mean, half of high schoolers now say school lets them do what they do best. That's up from 40% just a few years ago in 2023. But here's the thing. Many students say their coursework isn't challenging or relevant. And they are also saying they haven't learned anything interesting recently. Let's talk more about this study from Gallup and the Walton Family Foundation with Romy Drucker. She is with the Walton Family Foundation. And Romy, I was looking at this, I was prepping for this interview. I found it very unusual, and I kind of want to do a little bit of a deep dive into that study. Tell us more. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, Andrew. Yes, the study is really important in helping us better understand what students are looking for in their school experiences. 56% of students say they feel ready for the future, but too few feel good about their everyday lives. What we know is that school can be a place that closes that gap by being a spark, helping students feel inspired and engaged, but something needs to change about school to do that.
It's so fascinating to me, so interesting. And so tell us what needs to change. Does it need to be tougher? Does it need to be more relevant? What do you think?
The number one factor we consistently hear from students is relevant. Make my learning and my experience relevant to the world of work and to the challenges and opportunities I'll face in the future. Only 37% of Gen Zers say their learning in school feels connected to the real world. We need to make school a place that brings in experiences and exposure to the world of work, but also gives students the skill sets and mindsets to thrive in their lives more generally. Students are asking for that.
You know what? I can understand that in a way that my kids have moved on to college and afterwards. My daughter just graduated. And I remember them saying, you know, I'm not going to use this in my real life, in my profession, and what I'm going to do. Why am I learning it now? And I often thought, well, maybe they should focus on, you know, more financial news, more business news, more how to stay financially afloat, investments, that sort of thing. Is that where something like this is headed towards? What do you think, Romy?
There's a school in Memphis called Power Center Academy that's doing this really well, creating interdisciplinary projects and opportunities for students to connect with information and experiences that feel relevant to the jobs of the future. So it's not just learning math and social studies and English, but it's doing that in a context that really bridges to opportunities and challenges students will face in their futures, making it relevant to career, making it relevant to how students will apply that knowledge in college and beyond. Students are saying they want learning to feel connected to the real world, and that's a message we need to rally around as educators and communities.
I love that, and thank you for pointing out that Memphis connection there, Romy. What else can schools do to better connect with students and real-world careers long-term?
One thing we know from this data is that teachers are absolutely a difference maker. Students are telling us that loud and clear. 78% of students say that when teachers make their learning more fun and engaging, they feel more inspired and hopeful about their future. So supporting teachers, really nurturing that human connection between students and teachers is everything. So we need to make sure that we have the right supports in place for teachers so that they can do what they do best.
Really appreciate this discussion, Romy. Where can people go if they want to learn more about the study and perhaps solutions to this disconnect?
You can learn more at waltonfamilyfoundation.org/Gen Z study.
All right, Romy Drucker with the Walton Family Foundation. Thanks for coming on the Digital Desk and talking about a very important issue. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, that wraps it up for us here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We have Action News 5 Midday coming up at 11 o'clock with Ariana Poindexter and Jerry Askin. We'll see you Monday, kicking things off at 7 a.m. with Sydney Gray.